A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Jerry of the Circus. For Jerry of the Circus.
Well, here the police are now. As soon as they take you in hand, your days with the circus will be all over.
What are you going to tell them, Jason?
Jerry, you leave that to me.
Right in here, men.
Oh, there he is, Riley. Hey, that's him.
There's your prisoners, them two standing there.
All right, Riley, put the handcuffs on them.
Right.
What's the charge, Mr. Platt? The report that came in said something about robbery.
That's right. Those two were going through that trunk there. You see how that stuff is spread all over the floor?
And I guess you won't be up to any monkey business for those bracelets, son.
You're pretty young to be starting in the business of trying to beat the law, son.
I didn't do anything.
No, of course not. You just broke into this barn to keep out of the cold.
Leave the boy go, officer. He really didn't have anything to do with this.
You'll both come down to the station and talk this over with the captain. Come on, let's get going.
You want to ride along with us, Mr. Platt? We've got room for you.
No, I'm sorry, man, but I've got to get on back to the railroad station.
But you have to come down to headquarters with us, sir. You'll have to swear out a complaint against these two.
A complaint? What for? Why, you can see
it's
that...
It's just a formality, Mr. Platt, but it's got to be done.
I don't like the idea. Well, but I'll go along with you.
Officer.
What do you want?
Can you wait just a second, please? Jerry, what's your friend's name? Well, that boy over there.
You mean Tom?
Yeah, that's it. Tom.
Yes, sir?
Will you do Jerry and me a favor?
Yes, sir. What is it?
Phone Mr. Randall at the Continental Hotel and tell him to come right down here to police headquarters. Will you do that?
Sure I will.
Well, come on. What are we waiting for?
Hey, what did you tell Tom to call Mr. Randall for?
Well, I thought it might be a good idea, Jerry, to have him there to vouch for us.
It's a shame honest folks have to be bothered with a lot of crooks this way.
Do you want me to go with you, Mr. Platt?
No, you go back to bed, Tom.
Yes, sir.
Hop in the back seat there. Come on, get a move on you.
All
You
right.
can ride up in the front with me, Mr. Platt.
You know, it was just by accident that we caught these thieves. I sent the kid that works for me out to the barn to fetch my tools for me, and he saw a light out there.
That was lucky.
Lucky? I should say it was. If we didn't catch them, they might have taken everything in the barn and left it empty.
Did you frisk those two, Riley?
Yep, they ain't got nothing on them.
Yeah, we got them just in time.
Driving too fast for you, Mr.
Well,
Platt?
I'm anxious to get this over with. And the sooner they get tried and sentenced to jail, the better I'll like it. I never did trust circus people. They're a foxy lot.
Are they with the circus?
Why, sure. That kid was up to my place yesterday. He bought an old vest off of me, a fancy one.
What on earth would he be wanting with a fancy vest?
He said one of the clowns wanted it for his get-up. But I can see it all now. It was just an excuse to get a layout of my place so he'd get his partner here and come out and do some stealing.
I wouldn't be talking like that if I were you, Mr. Platt.
Oh, you wouldn't, huh? Well, you're not me, young fella. If you were, you wouldn't be in trouble. Honest folks don't have to run in with the police.
Honest folks.
Drive down, kid.
I never said anything.
Now, how long do you figure it'll take me to sign that complaint and get back to work? I don't like to stay away from the baggage room long at this time of night. was a train due in an hour.
Won't take but a few minutes, Mr. Platt. You'll be back on your job in just a little while now. There's headquarters right ahead of us now.
You fellas sure go flying in these cars.
Have to, Mr. Platt. Sometimes the difference between a catch and a getaway is only a few seconds. Well, here we are.
All right. Come on, pile out.
Captain Thomas? This is Mr. Platt.
Howdy, Captain.
Platt? Oh, yes, why, sure, I remember you, Mr. Platt, from down at the railroad station. You and I had some dealings some 4 or 4.5 years ago, and one of your men down at the station held up a mail car.
Yeah, that's right, Captain. And tonight I got a couple more tough customers.
This fella and the kid here were prowling around in Mr. Platt's barn.
Find anything on them?
No, sir, they didn't get away with anything.
Well, then I guess we'll put a vagrancy charge on them.
Vagrancy? Why, they're thieves.
They didn't steal anything.
Only because they were caught in time. They were going through my trunk when I broke in on them.
And so? Well, then we'll put a suspicion of robbery on the ticket, too. What's your name?
Jason. I'm with Randall Circus.
Jason, the wild animal trainer?
Yes, sir.
That's a good one. The best I ever heard, Captain.
If you're an animal trainer, I'm king of the highway and island.
Riley.
Yes, sir.
Here you are, Mr. Platt. Just sign this. Here at the bottom.
Yeah, I'll be glad to. There you are, Captain. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll get back to work.
May I have a word, Captain, before Mr. Platt goes?
Go ahead.
Captain Thomas, I want you to arrest Stephen Platt.
What?
What for?
In connection with an old case. Holding up and robbing the United States mail.
Say, what is this?
What are you talking about?
I think that Stephen Platt is responsible for a robbery that took place over 4 years ago. Another man has gone to the penitentiary for that crime, but...
This guy is crazy,
Look
Captain.
here, Jason. You can't get out of a scrape by falsely accusing a man
Who's proved himself to be a good citizen. Why, the whole thing is ridiculous. Am I free to get back to my work now, Captain?
If you'll just give me a chance, Captain, I'll bet I can prove what I've said.
And I'll bet he can, too.
That'll do. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Platt. I've heard enough of this nonsense. If I need you further, I'll get in touch with you at the station.
Yeah, thank you, Captain. Good night.
You're making a mistake, Captain.
That'll do. Good night, Mr. Platt.
But honest, we're just...
Quiet.
But we're just sure we can prove he's back of that robbery if you'll just give us a chance.
Keep quiet, kid. The captain doesn't want to hear from you.
Shall we lock him up, Captain?
Yeah, take him away.
Come on, let's go.
Jason. Jerry.
Mr. Randall, gee, you got here just in time.
What kind of a scrape have you two gotten into?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
My name is Sam Randall. I'm the owner of Randall Brothers Circus.
Oh, well, I'm Captain Thomas, Mr. Randall.
How do you do?
What do you know about these two?
Why, these are my people, Captain. They work for me. Now, what's the charge, or what are you holding them for?
Suspicion of robbery, for one thing. They were caught prowling around in a barn, a Mr. Platt's barn.
What?
Oh, I can explain the whole thing, Mr. Randall, if they'd just let me talk.
Well, go ahead and talk.
Jerry and I were out there digging up some evidence. Jerry, got some evidence yesterday, and we went back out there tonight to get more.
Well, evidence about what?
Well, I got the red sweater yesterday. The one that disappeared when Spike was on trial.
What on earth are you two talking about?
What's that about a red sweater?
I found it in Mr. Platt's trunk.
Say, come to think of it, that mail robbery case hung on a red sweater. I wonder if there can be something to your story after all.
Believe me, Captain Thomas, you're making a mistake letting Platt get away. I located a false bottom to that trunk of his. I was just about to open it when he came in. Captain, I wouldn't be surprised if those missing bonds were in that trunk.
Missing bonds? Say, that's right. They never were accounted for. You say there's a false bottom to the trunk?
Yes, sir. We're sure of it.
Well, let's get out to Platt's house right away and see what we can find. This looks like a case.
If we're not too late.
Come on. Terry, you come with us.
Yes,
Riley,
sir.
you stay here.
Yes, sir.
Captain, I guess I better come along, too.
Yes, Mr. Randall, you will.
I sure hope we're not too late.
Do you think we should go to see if Platt's over at the railroad station first?
No, I don't think so. We'll go right out to his place first and check on that trunk story. Where is his place?
Right out Elm Street, Captain.
You remember Spike, Mr. Randall?
Spike?
Yeah, the fellow Johnny Bradley turned in.
Oh, yes.
Well, this is where the robbery was, here in Hansburg. And I promised Spike I'd see what I could do about finding out something for him.
Spike told Jerry he was framed and gave him some of the particulars.
I remember the case very well now. The man that was sent up for the job didn't have any defense, but still there was some doubt as to his guilt.
He didn't hold up that train, Captain. I just know he didn't do it.
What makes you so sure, Jerry?
Well, he just isn't that kind of a person, Mr. Randall.
You can't always tell a man by the way he looks and acts, Jerry.
But if we find those missing bonds in that trunk, it'll prove Spike didn't take them.
If we find them.
What do you mean, Jason?
I'm afraid Platt is on to us.
You mean you think he might have come out here and taken the bonds from the trunk?
Yes, Captain, that's exactly what I think. He was in an awful hurry to get out when I asked that you arrest him.
There's the place, right up at the end of this street.
Well, we'll soon find out.
Guess Tom went back to sleep. There's no light on in the house.
Tom. Is that the boy that called me?
Uh-huh. He works for Mr. Platt.
Well, come on, let's get into that barn and see what we can find.
I sure hope we find those bonds.
You're pretty much set on clearing this up, aren't you, Jerry?
You bet I am.
Help me with this door, Jerry.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Now, come on. That's got it. Flash the light of yours around, will you?
Yes, sir.
Look,
What?
put your light over there in that trunk, officer.
Yeah.
The false bottom has been opened.
Didn't you leave that trunk the way it is now?
Well, no, sir. We couldn't open the false bottom. We thought we'd just found the way it opened when Mr. Platt came in.
Well, let's have a look here.
Well, there's nothing in it.
Hey, wait a second. Put the light down here on the side. Inside at the bottom. Right here in the corner. See that piece of paper?
Here, let me have a look.
It got caught on that little nail there.
Say,
What is it, Captain?
this may be a piece of one of those missing bonds. It has the last part of a serial number printed on it, see? Say, this is luck.
I was right. Platt's been out here and taken those bonds.
Well, it looks that way, all right.
Captain,
Yes, Jerry?
here's a cigar I found over by the door. It's still warm. And it's still got the band on it.
Platt was smoking a cigar at headquarters. I took special notice of it because he was smoking my brand, a Carlo Ray.
This is a Carlo Ray.
Well, then that cinches it. Platt's been here and taken those bonds. Let's get to a phone quick. I'll have every highway watched. He won't get far.
There's a phone in the house, Captain.
Good. Come on, we've no time to lose. Well, I guess I owe you two an apology. But I hear so many stories by people that are picked up, I can't take much stock in them.
Oh, that's all right, Captain. I guess we did look guilty. After all, we were caught going through that trunk.
Oh, say, have you got that red sweater you were talking about, son?
Yes, sir. It's in our dressing wagon back at the circus.
Good. I'll be needing that for evidence along with this torn piece of paper.
Tom? Guess he's asleep.
Good.
But the door's open.
Oh. Well, where's the phone now? We've got no time to lose.
Right over there.
Oh, yes. Hello. Police headquarters, operator, in a hurry. Hello. Captain Thomas speaking. Now get this. Have the Highway Patrol notified throughout the state to pick up a Stephen Platt, Platt. American, dark, thin, 135 pounds, 5 feet 7. Yeah, that's right. Notify all cars and motorcycles to be on the lookout. We've got to get this man.
Bill Goodwin speaking for Lever Brothers, makers of Swan, the new white floating soap. Well, it's Tuesday night again, and that means another pleasant visit with George Burns and Gracie Allen, their guests, Rita Hayword, Jimmy Cash, and Paul Whiteman and his music. And now meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie.
Gracie, did the postman get here yet?
Now, George, that's the fourth time you've asked me.
But, honey, it's important.
Well, don't worry. He'll be here any minute with your copy of Cowboy Love Tales.
Oh, gee. I wish he'd hurry. Oklahoma, Texas is in a terrible spot. You see, he and Lucy were alone in the ranch house, and Lucy was cooking their dinner. Then suddenly 6 bandits came in.
Oh, that's terrible.
You bet.
Poor Lucy only cooked dinner for 2.
I'll see you later. Tex is in trouble.
My goodness. He's like a child.
Good morning, Mrs. Burns.
Oh, it's the postman. Good morning.
Here's your husband's magazine.
Oh, thank you. Well, how are you feeling today, Mr. Postman?
Oh, fit as a fiddle. Of course, I'm always in top-notch condition.
Oh, yes. I know. Did you have a nice Christmas?
Yes, indeed. Was a little old man with a red nose and big stomach good to you this year?
Oh, yes. George gave me... Oh, you mean Santa Claus? Oh. Oh, yes. I got some lovely things.
Well, that's nice. Well, goodbye, Mrs. Burns. Happy New Year.
Oh, and a very, very Happy New Year to you, although I know it won't show.
Oh. Thank you. And remember, keep smiling.
George!
Yes?
Cowboy Love Tales is here.
Where is it? Where is it? Oh, boy, let's see it. Texas in a terrible spot. I've got to... Hey, there's been a mistake.
What?
Look at this cover. It's Harper's Bazaar.
Oh, I wondered why Oklahoma Tex was wearing a backless evening gown.
I'm going to sue the post office for every cent they've got.
Oh, now, George, calm down. Calm down. They just delivered it to the wrong address. And the other people must have gotten your magazine. I'll go and get it.
Yeah, well, hurry back.
Let me
Texas
take the
in
address.
trouble.
Oh, it's just down the street. Yeah, that's it. It's Rita Hayward's house. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you go right... Whose house?
Rita Hayward.
Rita? Well, maybe a little fresh air wouldn't do me any harm.
George Burns, get that gleam out of your eye.
Gracie, it's... I've always got that gleam in my eye when I'm worried about Oklahoma Tex.
No, I've seen that one. This is a new gleam entirely.
Gracie, stop being silly. I meant we'll both go.
Oh, well, all right.
Hello, kid.
Oh, hello,
Bill. I'll be back as soon as I get my hat here.
You going out, George?
Yeah. Going over to Rita Hayward's house.
Rita Hayward?
That's a lie. I'm only going over to get my magazine.
On your way, will you drop me off at Betty Grable's house? I want to get my shoes shined.
Very funny, that scream. Bill, the postman left Cowboy Love Tales at Rita Hayward's.
Oh. Well, I'll go get it for you, George. Goodbye.
Come back here. You'd stay there all day. I want to find out if Oklahoma Tex got away from those bandits.
Oh, well, I can tell you that. Sure he gets away.
Really?
Yeah.
But how, Bill? They had him cornered in the ranch house.
Well, I'll tell you, George. You know, the bandits were backing Tex slowly down the hall.
Yeah?
And you know how fast Tex is on the draw.
Yeah.
Well, quick as a flash, he whips out a bar of Swan soap and jumps in the bathtub.
Oh.
Well, you see, Tex knows that Swan is the new white floating soap that's purer than the finest Castiles. He knows that money can't buy a purer soap.
Okay. I'll read it myself. Gracie, hurry.
Hey, don't you want to know how Oklahoma protects Lucy and her ranch hands?
Yeah, but you won't tell me. I know you.
Oh, sure, I'll tell you. Lucy's hands are protected with Swan.
Gracie, hurry.
You see, George, Swan is not only a suds and whiz, but remember, it's purer than the finest Castile, so it's just got to be kind to your hands. That's why you should use Swan for washing the dishes or for any other soap and water job in the house. So then, Oklahoma Tex...
I don't want to hear any more about it.
You don't want to hear how he saved Lucy?
No.
Or how he shot his way out of the nest of rattlesnakes?
No.
Or how he...
No.
No. Well, gee, George, don't you even want to hear how you can break Swan in two with a simple twist of the wrist?
Yep.
And use half in the kitchen for dishes and housework and half in the bathroom for your hands and face?
Yep. That I want to hear. Good, Bill. Tell me all about Swan.
Oh, now you're just trying to milk me. Goodbye.
Come on, Gracie, hurry up.
You're in an awful rush, aren't you, there?
Yes, I am.
Well, George Burns, remember this. The only thing Rita Hayward's got that you're interested in is cowboy love tales.
Well, of course. Yes,
Is this the Burns residence?
that's right. Say, aren't you Rita Hayward?
Yes.
Oh.
I came over to give little Georgie Burns his magazine.
Little Georgie Burns?
Yes, the postman left it at my house. It's called Cowboy Love Tales. The trash those kids will read.
Those kids, they read trash, yes.
I knew he must be a very small boy. You know, these stories naturally appeal to an undeveloped mind.
Oh, sure.
Is little Georgie here?
Little Georgie. Oh, little Georgie, yes. Yes, he's a very smart little fellow. He's just 6 years old last month.
Oh, how nice. Do you have any other grandchildren?
No, he's my son, George Burns, Jr. We call him Georgie Boy.
Georgie boy. Oh, that's a sweet name. Is he cute?
Looks like me.
Well,
anyway.
All right, there. I'm ready. Oh, we
Gracie.
have company.
Yes, Gracie. This is Rita Hayward. She came over to swap the magazines. I'll go and get her copy of Papa.
Oh, well, it was sweet of you to save us a trip, Miss Hayward.
oh, not at all. You know, I knew Georgie boy must be dying to read his cowboy love tales.
Did you say Georgie boy?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Tell me, does he really look like his father?
Well, it's hard for me to say. You see, his father and I aren't very intimate.
Well, I can understand that. But tell me more about Georgie boy. Does he bathe himself?
Well, certainly. Of course, once in a while I scrub his back.
Oh, how adorable. I'd love to come over and watch him splash around.
Well, he wouldn't like that. He's kind of bashful.
Well, do you think Georgie would like to come over to my house one day and play?
Well, he might like to, but he won't.
But don't you think I could amuse him?
Miss Hayward, if you don't mind, I prefer to amuse my husband myself.
Oh, your husband? I thought Georgie was your son.
Well, how could he be my son? I'm married to him, and that would make me my own mother-in-law.
Why, this is wonderful. You know, he pretended to have a son because he didn't want to admit he reads cowboy love tales himself.
Oh, so that's it.
Okay, Miss Hayward, take your... Hey. What's the joke?
Hello, little Georgie boy.
So you had to tell her. Well, all right, so I read cowboy love tales. I happen to love Oklahoma Tex. He's a square shooter, and he's very brave.
Oh, isn't he cute?
Whoa.
All right. You know, as long as you're not in love with somebody else, the boys and the 6 hits and a miss have a question for you. It's, why don't you fall in love with me?
Driving me crazy, baby, trying to guess. Will you tell me no or will you tell me yes? You gotta go overboard for someone someday. Believe it or not, it's bound to be. As long as you're not in love with anyone else, why don't you fall in love with me?
Well, for the last 3 hours, Rita Hayworth and Gracie have been having a very exciting conversation.
Oh, and Rita, it was the cutest little hat you ever saw.
Well, I know it must have been darling, Gracie. I get such a kick when I buy a new hat, don't you?
Oh, yes. In fact, I get 2 kicks. The second one's from George.
I heard that, and it's not true. Gracie, how about Rita staying for dinner?
Well, of course. Rita, wouldn't you... Oh, no, you must have a date tonight.
No, I don't have a date tonight or any other night. I can't get a date.
Oh, stop.
No, I mean it. Well, you see, the movie people have built me up as such a glamour girl that every man thinks I'm dated up, so no one ever calls me.
Honest?
Honest.
Nobody takes you out at all?
Nope.
Not even Rudy Valley?
Not even Rudy Valley has asked me for a date.
You know you can get on We the People.
Look, it's no joke, George. How do you think I feel sitting home alone night after night, staring out of my window and watching Patsy Kelly go merrily off to the Palladium?
I don't believe this. I'd swear that a girl like you would be dated up 6 months in advance.
Well, that's what every man thinks. That's why nobody ever calls me.
Oh, well, cheer up, Rita. Maybe that isn't the reason at all. Maybe it's your look.
Well, that's nice sharing.
Rita, I'll bet I can get you a date.
Oh, Gracie, don't waste your time. Nobody can.
Well, I can. I do things that no other woman does, don't I, George?
You said it. Gracie, if you really want to help Rita, look who's coming up the walk.
Who? Oh, Bill Goodwin. Rita, quick, go into the living room. You're going to have a date tonight.
I certainly hope so.
Hello, Gracie. Hi, George. Still mad at me?
Yeah, mad.
Oh, Bill, there's a surprise for you in the living room.
A surprise for me?
Yeah, go on in.
Okay.
Wow!
Oh, George, that should end her lonesome streak.
Well, I hope so. But who would ever believe that Rita Hayworth couldn't get a date? I just...
Come in. Oh, Gracie, Dorothy, Bagwell. Oh, I'm so glad you dropped in. Guess who's in the living room with Bill Goodwin? Rita Hayworth. Rita Hayworth? Uh-huh. And Tootsie, you'll be so proud. Do you realize that you and Rita have something in common?
Really? What?
Neither one of you can get a date.
Oh.
Oh, well, now don't feel bad, Tootsie. Rita Hayworth is beautiful and charming and has no excuse. But look at all the reasons you've got.
Oh, Gracie, you're the most comforting friend I've got.
Where am I?
Why, Bill. George, what's the matter with him? He's in a daze.
Hey, Bill, speak to me.
Gotta go now. Thanks for the drink.
Oh, if I could only do that to a man.
Well, George, run after him. That hat he just put on his head is one of our nicest ashtrays.
That boy, he needs looking after. I'll see you later.
Well, I wonder what happened to Bill. Oh, Rita.
Yes, Gracie?
Rita, what happened in there? Oh, this is my friend, Tootsie Sagwell.
How do you do, Mr. Sagwell?
Darn these slacks anyway.
Oh, pardon me.
Rita, tell us, what happened with you and Bill?
Well, we sat down on the sofa.
Did you have the curtains drawn?
Oh, that's your technique, Tootsie. Rita can work in the lights. Go ahead, Rita.
Well, he started out fine. He told me I had a neck like a swan.
Yes?
Well, from then on, it was all swan and no neck. The only way I could change the subject was to grab him and kiss him.
Well, what happened after you kissed him?
Nothing. He just crawled to the door and left. Well, you see, Gracie, it's just impossible for me to get a date.
Oh, well, now don't give up, Rita. I'll get you a date yet. Wait, I've got an idea. Tootsie, run next door and see if that good-looking Edgar Myers is home.
All right.
Oh, he'll be perfect for you, Rita. Not only is he handsome, but he's very intelligent and has a world of charm. In fact, there's only one small disadvantage.
What's that?
He's 15 years old.
Well, Gracie, I don't think that I...
Rita, don't be silly. There's a war on. It was either him or his grandfather. Well, go into the living room. I'll call you, Rita.
Well, all right, Gracie.
Here he is. Hello, Mrs. Burns. You wanted me?
Yes, Edgar. Edgar, do you like pretty girls?
Well, yes, ma'am.
Would you like a date with a pretty girl?
Well, yes, ma'am. Where would you like to go?
Oh, it isn't me. But it's a girl just as pretty.
Oh. All right.
Rita.
Yes, Gracie?
Edgar, I want you to meet Rita Hayword.
Rita. Hayward.
Yeah, go ahead, Edgar. Go ahead. Ask her for a date.
Miss Hayward, oh.
Now here's Jimmy Cash with the song that fits the season, My Best to You.
Here's to love and laughter, yours forever after. May there always be happiness in your heart. My best to you, may your dreams come true. May old Father Time never be unkind. And through the years, save your smiles and tears. They are souvenirs. They'll make music in your heart. Remember this, each new day's a kiss sent from up above with an angel's love. So here's to you, may your skies be blue, and your love blessed. That's my best to
Rita, this time I know I've got you a date. Oh, there he is. Quick, get into the living room. This one can't miss. At least it never missed before.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Come in, sailor. I'm so glad the USO managed to find one for me.
One what?
A sailor who was interested in pretty girls.
Oh, yeah, there's only a few of us.
Well, look, here's $10 for expenses. I want you to take a girl out on a date tonight, and she's really gorgeous.
Who cares about that? I'd go out with the worst dog in the world for $10.
Oh, so the USO did send one over. Hello, sailor.
Here's your $10, lady. Goodbye.
Oh, no. She isn't the girl, sailor. Your date is in the living room. That door right there.
Oh, okay. Be seeing you.
Well, I guess Rita's worries are over at last.
Yeah. Gee, I'd give anything to know what's going on in there.
Oh, well, it can't be very exciting, Tootsie, after all. They just met. They're probably discussing the latest books and looking at his tattooing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, goodbye, lady. Sorry it didn't work out.
Why, sailor, you mean you're not going to take her out?
Lady, that dame in there is Rita Hayward, the picture actress. If I take her out, I'll have no teeth.
You have no teeth.
No. Tomorrow the boys will say to me, where was you last night? And I'll say, me? Oh, I was out with Rita Hayward. And they'll say, oh, a wise guy, huh? Bang, I'll have no teeth.
Rita, even the sailor walked out.
I knew he would.
Say, how'd you get your hair mussed up?
Well, until the sailor recognized me, we were going steady.
Oh!
I'd better go up and fix it.
Gracie, I don't care what you say. Rita isn't giving them enough romantic atmosphere. I'm going in that living room and pull down all the blinds and spray some perfume around.
Oh, all right, Tootsie. Well, I never would have believed that there'd be such a thing as too much glamour. So it never hurt me any. Can't understand it.
Hello, sweetheart. I brought Bill back.
Hello, Gracie. Here's your ashtray.
Well, thanks, Bill.
Well, I'm going in the living room and apologize to Miss Hayward.
Oh, but Bill, Rita isn't... Bill!
Gee, it's dark in here. Where are you, beautiful?
Huh?
Oh, I hear you now. On the sofa, huh? Mind if I sit down? Well, come on, baby. Slip your little hand into my great big strong one. Say, are you wearing pigskin gloves? Gee, gorgeous. If I didn't know better, I'd swear I just shook hands with Maxie Rosenblum. How about a little kiss now? Oh, hey, that's not fair. Every time I get close to your face, you push me away with your finger.
That's not my finger. That's my nose.
Wait a minute. I know that voice. You're Tootsie Sagwell. Well, goodbye, and my apologies to Rosenblum. Gracie, that's Tootsie in there.
Well, I know, Bill. I tried to tell you, but you were in too much of a hurry.
I certainly was.
Well, you know what I always say. Haste makes, well, whatever it makes, you wouldn't want it.
Guess not. Where's Rita Hayward?
She's in the library.
Well, I'm going in there and sweep her off her feet.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello, Miss Hayward. I guess I kind of acted like a stoop before.
Well, Mr. Goodwin,
Oh, not Mr. Goodwin. Girls who like me like to call me, Billy.
Oh. Well, Mr. Goodwin,
Oh, now, don't be angry, Rita. I was sort of in a daze. Just what did I say to you?
Well, you asked me to pucker up, so I did. Then you puckered up.
Yes?
Then you said, Swan is a new white flowing soap that's purer than the finest castiles.
Oh, murder, that wasn't a thing to tell you.
It certainly wasn't.
Oh, no, you knew that. I should have told you that because Swan is purer than the finest Castile, it's grand for even a baby's tender skin. You know, Rita, women have long considered Castile soaps the standard of purity, but Swan is purer than the finest Castiles.
Well, don't you ever forget Swan soap.
Well, I guess not. I get sort of carried away.
Well, I'll bet I can make you forget Swan.
Gee, I'll bet you can't. But I wish you'd try.
Come here, Billy. Put your arms around me. That's it. Now look into my eyes. There. Now, isn't there something else you'd like to say?
Yes?
Well?
Well, if Swan is kind to a baby's tender skin, then it must be great for anybody's hands and complexion, shower or tub, if you'll pardon the expression.
Bill.
What?
Oh.
Well, Bill, what's the matter?
Well, gotta go now. Thanks for the drink.
Oh, dear. There goes our ashtray again.
This time with my cigar in it.
Oh, Gracie, this time I really give up.
Oh, dear, I don't know what to say. Rita, are you sure it's your glamour that frightens all the men?
I'm afraid so. They just stare at me.
Well, maybe they wouldn't if you didn't wear such smart clothes. Why don't you wear something simple, like a sweater?
Forget it. Rita is right. Her glamour scares the average guy away. What she needs is a man who's really down to earth.
You mean a midget?
Yeah, a little small man, about 2 inches.
Oh, come in. Oh, it's the postman again.
Yes, I left the wrong magazine here, Mrs. Burns.
Oh, well, never mind that. How would you like to have a date with Rita Hayward?
Who's she?
You don't know her?
Never heard of
Oh,
her.
well, how wonderful. This is Rita right here. Rita, this is the postman.
Hello.
Hello. Say, you're kind of cute.
Thanks. How about that date?
Okay. Do you know how to dance?
Well, yes, a little.
Well, if you're a beginner, I won't try my fancy one step.
Bless your heart and let's go. Goodbye, Gracie, and thanks a million.
George, isn't that wonderful? I brought some sunshine into Rita Hayward's life.
Sunshine? That postman is stormy weather. But life really is cockeyed. Who'd believe that a big movie star couldn't get a date?
Yeah, because nobody had sense enough to ask her.
I guess that happens to all movie stars.
Oh, really? Oh, Tootsie! Come on down, we're going out.
Where are you going with Tootsie?
Well, I'm going to bring a little sunshine into Robert Taylor's life.
George and Gracie will be right back, so I just want to take these few seconds to get across one thing. You just can't beat Swan for washing the dishes. In the first place, Swan suds faster than other white floating soaps. And you need loads of fast, hard-working suds in the dishpan. In the second place, Swan helps keep your hands lovely. And you know why. It's purer than the finest Castiles. So what do you say? Get Hub. Get Swan. Well, here they are, George and Gracie.
Oh, gee. Tootsie left without taking my waste kitchen fat to the butcher.
Well, we can turn it in ourselves. The government can still make bombs and bullets out of it.
Oh, well, that isn't it. Every time Tootsie turns in a can of fat, Louis the butcher lets her kiss him.
Well, now, there is a patriotic man.
Oh, yes, he's in Washington right now. They're giving him the Congressional Medal for bravery beyond the call of duty.
Well, I don't know.
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in again next week, same time. Remember, Swan also brings you another of radio's top shows. Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou over another network. And now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you? Good night.
Price Pride. You'll find the baking you turn out fluffy and light. Price Pride. You're sure to hear your family shout, what a delight. For cake, pies, donuts, and things you fry. Price Pride. What's that you say? You're going to try it today?
Why, sure.
Price Pride.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Andy, did you hear that? Come on, will you?
Did I hear what?
That whistle. That's the Rinso White whistle.
And Rinso means us.
That's right. Rinso gets clothes Rinso White, and Rinso presents the Amos and Andy Show. Rinso for a wash, that's...
Rinso what?
Rinso for a wash, that's...
Rinso White?
Yes, Rinso White, Rinso Bright wash is something to whistle and ring bells about. Make next wash day a Rinso wash day. See for yourself how much easier Rinso is on you and on your clothes, whites and washable colors, too. Rinso's also a big help on your spring house cleaning jobs. Those soapy-rich suds make dirt vanish from windows, floors, and woodwork. Use Rinso for all your soap and water jobs. And next wash day, remember...
Rinso what?
Rinso White. Happy little wash day song.
And now our stars, Amos and Andy. Before we open our show, let's go back 20 years when one George Kingfish Stevens and one Miss Sapphire Smith were out dancing together. She said,
George, you dance divinely.
Then he said,
I could dance with you till the cows come home. You was like a feather.
And she said,
George, listen to that music. It's the song we both love. Let me call you sweetheart.
Then he said,
Honey, let me call you sweetheart. Forever, dear.
And she said,
George, is you proposing?
Then he said,
Yes, honey.
And she said, And now, let us look in on this same couple 20 years later. They're married now, and they've just arrived home after spending another evening dancing together.
Well, of all the loads I ever dragged around the dance floor, you was the worst.
Oh, is that so? I remember when you used to say you could dance with me till the cows come home.
Yeah, well, the way you danced tonight, I thought they was there.
Ain't you funny? You know, when it comes to dancing, you ain't no gazelle.
Yeah, I never said I was. But I knows this much. I happens to be very light on my feet.
Yeah, and very heavy on mine. But, George, really, I don't mind you dancing on my feet. It's the constant jumping on and off that gets me.
Now, boy, I'm sure glad we're home. Let me get off my shoes here and soak my feet in some hot mustard water here. Get these shoes off. You poor feet. Feet, I knows just what you thinking. You was thinking, what did I ever do to deserve this punishment?
You know, George, I was just thinking, too. This show is a lot different than when we used to dance to our favorite song, Let Me Call You Sweetheart. Sometimes it don't seem like we're married no more.
Now, what do you mean by that?
Well, you used to be romantic and sweet to me when we was first married. But now, since you done stopped being sweet, well, our marriage just ain't amounted to much.
Now, there's a fine thing to say. That's the appreciation I get. And to think that I give up a career for marriage.
What career did you give up for marriage?
Well, I would have thought of something, all right.
You know, George, all you does is aggravate me. I can still remember before I married you, something told me not to.
Oh, is that so?
Yes. The whole trouble was I listened to my heart instead of my head. My heart said, there's a man I'm going to ride down life's highway with.
Yeah, what did your head say?
It said, let me off at the next corner.
Sapphire, is I to gather from this little conversation here that if you had to do it over again, you wouldn't marry me?
Take it any way you want.
Well, this is very interesting. Sapphire, I was going to make you eat them words.
Oh, I tell you, boys, the Kingfish is really in trouble with his wife.
Yeah, really bad this time, huh, Enda?
Yeah, Amos, she claimed that if she had to do over again, the chances is she wouldn't marry him. What'd you think of that, Brother Crawford?
Well, I can hardly blame Sapphire. The Kingfish doesn't know how to treat a woman. Women need love and affection. I read someplace.
Yeah, she done told the Kingfish he ain't sweet and romantic no more.
Well, that's why he made his mistake. A wife always wants a husband to be romantic.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Very definitely so. And fortunately for my wife, I am the romantic type.
You is?
Oh, yes. I've never failed to kiss my wife before I go to work and also when I return from work. 2 times a day. On birthdays and anniversaries, it has run as high as 3 times.
You really a ball of fire on them days, ain't you?
Well, it seems to me, Brother Crawford, that you kind of kiss your wife by a timetable, don't you? Well, that's how my wife wants it.
Yeah, well, I always thunk it was nicer for a husband to kiss his wife, not when he's supposed to, but kiss her when he feel like kissing her.
My wife prefers not to take that chance.
Your wife certainly got you toe in the mark, ain't she?
Well, not always. I believe in an orderly married life, but at the same time, I believe a man should have a private life of his own, which his wife does not have to know anything about.
Well, she know whatever you does, don't she?
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Well, the thing is that...
Well, hello there, fellas.
Hi, Kingfish. Hi. Come in.
Sorry to hear about you and your wife, Kingfish.
Yeah, thanks, Amos. Say, I wonder if I could be alone with Andy. I want to speak to him.
I was about to leave anyway, so goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye.
Yeah, well, I'll go along with you, Brother Crawford. So long, fellas.
So long, Amos. So long.
And I think I got an idea to make my wife come to her senses.
Yeah?
And I want to see what you think of it, and I don't want all the other fellas to know about it.
Yeah, well, what is it, Kingfish?
Well, now, it so happens that a letter come this morning addressed to me and Sapphire from a friend of ours down south in the same town where the Justice of the Peace live, who done married us 20 years ago.
Yeah, well, what about it?
Now, Sapphire didn't see the letter, and I just happened to open it without tearing the envelope. Now, here's my idea. I was going to write a letter and pretend it come from the clerk where we was married.
Oh, you will?
Yeah, now, here's what. I'll say that the Justice of the Peace that married us has died, and his papers show that his license done expired before he married us and was no good when he performed the ceremony for us.
Yeah, well, then that would mean that you and Sapphire ain't never been really married in the eyes of the law. You just had a long engagement.
Yeah, that's right. Look here, I'll seal the letter in the envelope and leave it where Sapphire can find it. Boy, is she going to be surprised.
But, George, do you see what this letter means? We ain't really married.
That's right, that's right. That's what it's saying in the letter, don't it? We'd have to get remarried. Well, here's your chance to be free right now. We ain't married no more, so let's call it a day.
Call it a day?
Yeah, you go your way and I'll go mine. Good luck to you and all that stuff. See you again sometime. It's been nice knowing you for 20 years.
We ain't married no more?
That's right. We ain't married.
Good, and that's how it's going to stay.
Yeah, well, what? Wait a minute. You mean that you ain't going to marry me again?
Exactly, George.
Now, wait a minute. Now, but Sapphire, honey, you making a mistake here. You my wife, and I is your husband, George.
Pardon me. I didn't catch the name.
Sapphire, now, don't be foolish. I is your husband.
Husband? Well, I haven't had a husband in 20 years.
Oh, me. Now, look, Sapphire. Look here. We're both tired now. Look here. Let's forget it until tomorrow.
All right, George. I guess we do need some sleep.
Yeah, I guess we sure do, honey. Let's go to bed.
All right. Here's your toothbrush, and there's the door.
The door?
Yes. I is a respectable, unmarried woman, and you is a very late visitor, so get out.
But, Sapphire!
Get out, I said. Get out and stay out.
Now let's listen to the Mystic Knights of the Sea Quartet singing Choo Choo Polka.
The conductor gave the downbeat as he yelled on the board to a solid polka rhythm. Well, that choo-choo engine roared. Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo polka time. As the choo-choo rambled down the railroad track, no one cared when they were coming back. On everybody's face you'd see a smile as they danced a polka down the aisle. Boys and girls in moments so sublime, their hearts beating out in polka time. They kept singing and they wouldn't stop.
Couldn't stop.
Till the engineer blew his whistle. Then he blew his stop. Boys and girls in moments so sublime, their hearts beating out in grooving time. Everyone was jumping on the beam.
Solid beam, boy.
Till the engineer blew his whistle. Then he let off steam. Choo-choo, 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 polka time.
Henry, look at that. Ain't that kingfish sleep on deck?
Why, yes, Gabby, I believe it is. I can't see the face, but it sounds like the kingfish's snore. Yeah, you see, it's got that whip at the end of it.
I better wake him up. Right now. I'll shake him a little here. Kingfish? Kingfish.
Oh, honey. You was come to see me. You will forgive me. Kiss me again.
I feel silly doing it even once.
Kingfish, it's me and Gabby. Wake up.
Hello, fellas. It's morning, huh?
Kingfish, have you been sleeping on this desk all night?
Yeah, let me get this rope off me here. I fell off the desk twice during the night, and I had to find a tie myself on here.
Kingfish, you got a home. You got a home. What you sleeping on the desk for?
Well, I tell you, boy, my wife won't let me inside the house to sleep, that's why.
Oh, I see. Why don't you get twin desks and invite over here?
Kingfish, I hear that there was trouble brewing between you and your wife. What seems to be the bone of contention?
Well, the whole thing started when Sapphire told me that if she had to do it over again, that she'd never marry me.
Well.
Yeah, I done fixed up a letter to make it look like we never really was married, you see, and the thing backfired, and now she won't remarry me.
Well, as they say in French, tout le jour, tout le jour.
What does that mean, Gabby?
How do I know? I ain't French.
Now, wait a minute. Now, look here, Gabby. I love my wife, and I want her back. Now, you as a lawyer, I'm glad you done come in here. You as a smart man. Now, what can I do?
Well, why don't you just tell her it was all a joke? All a joke. Tell her that.
Yeah, and that would really be my finish.
All right, I got another idea. Go over and see her. Go on over and see her. And tell her she won't take you back. You'll shoot yourself. You'll shoot yourself. Tell her that. That's what to tell her.
Yeah, well, suppose I tell her that and she still refuses to take me back. What does it do then?
That's simple. Shoot yourself.
Shoot myself? What are you talking about?
Look, Kingfish, if you're going to object to every idea I guess, I withdraw from the case. I can't stand stubborn clients.
Well, listen, Gabby, I'm sure there must be another solution to this thing that ain't quite as injurious to the health.
There's one other way, just one other way. Court your wife all over again, just like you done 20 years ago. Propose to her and everything.
Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. That I like.
Romance her again. Go ahead and romance her.
Yeah, that's good.
Tell her she's beautiful.
Now, wait a minute. Let's not go overboard yet. I told my wife 20 years ago she was beautiful. I stretched to the point then, and believe me, she certainly ain't gained no ground since then.
Well, Kingfish, it occurs to me that you must be a bit rusty on the art of courtship. If I was you, I'd consult with Andy. He seems to be the Quixote of Harlem.
Yeah, that's a good idea, isn't it?
Only one thing, Kingfish. This courtship idea ain't by no means surefire. It ain't surefire. You see, from the legal standpoint, it come under the heading of the Federal Reserve Bank.
The Federal Reserve Bank? How you figure that?
Well, Sapphire don't think she's married in the eyes of the federal government, so you better reserve a hotel room and don't bank on her taking you back. That's Federal Reserve Bank about here.
So you see, Anna, that's the way it is. Me and Sapphire has done foofed out with a capital foof.
You really take it on the chin with your married life, don't you, Kingfish? You know, instead of an arrow, Cupid must have hit you with a wet mop.
Yeah, well, now, look here. Let's get started here, Anna. You going to tell me how to court my wife according to the modern methods. That's what you're going to do now, up-to-date stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, now, what does I do first?
Well, first you invite Sapphire out on a date and you buy her flowers.
Okay, yeah. Now, that's a good idea. Then what does it do?
Well, when you takes her home, you sits on the sofa with her and you pre-pose her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is really going to take practice.
Yeah, that's what I want to learn.
Yeah, I tell you what, make believe I asked Sapphire and you go ahead and pre-pose to me.
Yeah, this is the best way to practice, huh?
Oh, sure, yeah, go ahead now. Now, look here. Kind of put your face near mine here.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Now, what does you say?
You've been eating onions.
Cut it out, Kingfish. Cut it out. Get romantic. Get romantic.
All right. Now, listen to this. Honey, I want to tell you that I love you with all my heart. Angel child, I'm crazy about you. I has always been crazy about you.
Pardon me. Are you two going steady?
Oh, hello, Shorty.
Hi, fellas.
Yeah, look, Shorty, we are just talking about courtship here. You might be able to help us. Come here.
Oh, sure. I just finished courting the girl. It's all busted up now, though. She was crazy about me.
Yeah, well, tell me this. How did you meet the gal and court and all that stuff?
Well, the way I met her was very romantic.
Yeah, well, where did you meet her, Shorty?
She was standing outside the draft board.
Well, what was she doing there?
Waiting for rejects. Yeah, our eyes met and we was in love.
Yeah, well, now, you say the thing is busted up even though she was crazy about you. Now, where'd you go wrong?
Trouble with her family. Yeah, they used to like to throw parties.
Well, what's wrong with that?
I was the party they were throwing. You know something? Every time I went to see that gal, her father would throw me out.
And what'd she do?
She stood outside and threw me back in. It got to be irksome.
Oh, now look, Shorty, you ain't gonna help us none. I got a lot to learn. Get out of here, will you?
A Rinso whitewash.
With ease.
A Rinso bright wash.
With safety.
Is it any wonder the women here, there, everywhere are singing?
Rinso white.
For a wash as white as it can be. Rinso bright.
B-R-I-G-H-T.
Yes, Rinso keeps your colors bright. Get out for good for a wash so white. Here's great advice, you can't go wrong.
Rinso white.
Rinso bright. Happy little wash day song.
You'll sing your way through wash day with Rinso's soapy rich suds on the job. No hard scrubbing or boiling. As little as a 10-minute soaking with Rinso, a few quick finger rubs on extra dirty places, and clothes are ready to rinse.
No more wash day sneezing spells either.
No, ma'am. Rinso's anti-sneeze. It's made by an exclusive anti-sneeze patented process. It's 98% free of sneezy soap dust. No other granulated soap can make this claim. So next wash day, remember, a Rinso whitewash.
With ease.
A Rinso bright wash.
With safety.
Well, Andy, you has been a great help coaching me and all that stuff concerning women and courtship and all that.
Yeah, well, the system that I has done learned you is the same one I uses myself with the gals, and I've been engaged 46 times.
You engaged 46 times, huh?
Yeah.
How come you never got married?
Skill, just plain skill.
Well, now, the first move I'm going to make is to call Sapphire up now and make a date with her and go out dining and dancing.
Yeah, and don't forget to make the imprint on her by ordering caviar.
Caviar, I didn't hear of it, but what is it, though?
Well, it's, the way they explain it to me, caviar is nothing but fish eggs, about as big as buckshot. Must be a lot of work to shell them things. Huh?
Yeah, well, I'll order a dozen. Say, Andy, I had in mind a place to take Sapphire, the Club La Paris there. What do you know about that?
Oh, the Club La Paris? Yeah, that's high class, all right. And besides that, now is a good time to go there.
How did you mean?
Well, it's near the end of the month now, and they changed their tablecloths.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyhow, I know Sapphire likes that place. She's always been wanting to go there. She's been begging me to take her there, you see.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do now is call her up on the phone, tell her about the thing, and then I'm going to take her right to the place. I'm going to call her up right now.
Yeah, well, now, look here. Don't forget to sound romantic, Kingfish.
I won't. Now, just leave it to me, because when I get on the phone, I'm going to give her that small talk, and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Hello.
Hello, Sapphire, honey, lamb pie, darling, sugarfoot. This is Loverboy.
Oh, hello, George. What you want?
Honey, I was just thinking here, don't you think this would be a good night to go dining and dancing and have a lot of fun?
Yes, I think it would.
Oh, that's swell. I got it. Yeah. Honey, don't you think it would be a great night for two people to walk home in the moonlight?
Yes, I do, George.
Oh, I knowed you would see it my way, sweetheart. Now, what I want to ask you is, wouldn't you like to go to Club La Paris tonight?
I'd love to go to the Club La Paris.
Oh, you would, huh? Got it now. Yeah, you would. Yeah. Oh, that's great, honey.
Yes, that's why I asked the man that I got a date with tonight to take me there.
Yeah, well, now, that's what? You mean you going out to the Club La Paris with another man?
That's right, George. Goodbye.
Sapphire, wait a minute. Hello. Oh, Andy, did you hear that? My wife is going out with another man.
Well, listen, you can't blame Sapphire, Kingfish. She thinks you all ain't married. That's what's the matter.
Yeah, but that ain't the point. The point is that some low-down bum snuck behind my back and made a date with my wife. Andy, what does you think of a man that would make a date with Sapphire?
He must be crazy.
That's no excuse. When I catches that bum, I is going to smash him to a pulp. Andy, do you know what I'm going to do tonight?
No, what, Kingfish?
Look here, I tell you exactly what I'm going to do. I is going over to Club La Paris, and I'm going to beat the ears off the man that took Sapphire out dancing.
wonderful dancing in a lovely place like this. I really enjoyed this dance. You know something? You rumbled beautifully.
Oh, is that what I was doing?
My goodness, if you didn't know you was doing the rumba, how did you know how to shake the rumba tempo so perfectly?
Oh, you see, Sapphire, I as a born dancer, music just makes me, dancing is right up my alley. I've got natural rhythm. Woolen underwear.
Just the same, I think you're a fine dancer.
Oh, thanks a lot. I guess I could have danced even better with you if I wasn't so much shorter than you is.
Oh, I don't mind you being shorter, but was it uncomfortable for you?
A little. I kept scratching my forehead on your belt buckle.
Oh, here we is at our table. Let's sit down and order something to eat. I'm starved.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm starved, too. Uh-oh. Look who's coming.
So there you is, Sapphire.
George, what on earth are you doing here?
Yeah, I come here to beat the brains out of the man that you was with. That's what I'm doing here. Now, where's the man? Where is the man?
He's sitting right... Why, he was there a minute ago. Shorty, where is you?
Under the table.
Oh, so it ain't a man after all. Shorty, come out from under that table.
George, I wish you'd stop shouting. People is beginning to stare.
Well, I don't care. Let them. Oh, so there you is, Shorty. I never would believe that you was the one that's out with my wife. Why, you was nothing but a dirty, low-down, good-for-nothing, double-crossing bum.
Now, wait a minute, Ken Fish. You can't talk to me that way. I ain't gonna stand for it. If you wasn't smaller than I is, I'd knock your block off.
Yeah, but I is bigger than you is.
Well, that's all the more reason.
Oh, come on, Shorty. Now, listen here. I done took enough of this. Out with my wife, huh? Now, put up your mitts. I tell you what I gonna do to you. I don't care about your size. I gonna massacre you.
Now, George, you ain't gonna dare to touch him.
Let him go. That's all right, Sapphire. After what the Kingfish say, this room ain't big enough to hold the two of us. That's what.
Yeah, well, what is you gonna do about it?
What
is you gonna do about it?
Well, I'm going. You get. Well, I was leaving.
Yeah, and as for you, Sapphire, if you think that you can go out with somebody...
You ain't got nothing to say about it. I ain't a married woman.
Yeah, well, if you think that you can fool...
George, stop arguing a minute. Listen to what they're playing.
Yeah. Let me call you sweetheart.
Don't that mean something to you, George?
Well, yeah. I first proposed to you years ago while we was dancing to that song.
George, let's dance it now.
Okay, Sapphire, come on. Honey, I want to apologize for the scene I just made, but the thought of you being out with somebody else just made me see red.
You did make an awful fuss, George.
Honey, can you ever forgive me? And will you let me call you sweetheart once again?
Why, George, dear, is you proposing to me again?
Sure I is, darling. I want you for my sweetheart forever.
Oh, George. Them words is just as sweet as when you said them 20 years ago. And my answer's still the same. I love you too, darling.
Honey, you dance divinely.
George, I was just thinking here. Ain't it lucky that the band just happened to play our song and bring us back together again like this?
Sapphire, I got a confession to make, honey. They just didn't happen to play the song. I gave the band leader $1 to play it.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, get it back. I just give him $2 to play the same thing.
Folks, my friend Harlow Wilcox has something to say to you, something that makes mighty good sense to me and Andy. Well, yes, it does make sense to do things a better way and an easier way. That's why so many women use Soapy Rich Rinso, for Rinso gets your clothes.
Rinso what?
And washable colors come safely.
Rinso what?
No wonder. Rinso is the only soap recommended by the makers of 33 leading washers, among them your prized Hot Point washer. Remember, the manufacturers of washers have gone to war, So have your hot point washer inspected regularly. And stick to Rinso regularly, too.
Me and Andy, we agree with Mr. Wilcox, and we urge you folks to follow his good Rinso advice. Good night.
Good night, folks.
Be with us next Friday evening at this same time when the makers of Rinso will again present the Amos and Andy Show. Don't miss the hilarious proceedings next week when Andy and the Kingfish try to win a $500 prize in a baby picture contest. The Amos and Andy Show is broadcast to our fighting men all over the world through the facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. This is Harlow Wilcox saying good night to all of you from all of us. Large-scale war production is going ahead on all cylinders and will continue until we've won victory on both fronts. That means, among other things, that we can look forward this year to lower supplies than ever on the civilian market. With buying power higher than ever, prices will surely go up unless we do something about it. Now, this is what you can do. Buy only what you really need. When you buy, pay no more than ceiling prices and pay your ration points in full. Save. Buy and hold all the war bonds you can possibly afford to help pay for the war and to ensure your own future. Do your part to keep prices down.
Palmolive Soap, your beauty hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. Our Miss Brooks teaches English at Madison High School. And like most other teachers, she tries to stay on the best of terms with her principal, Mr. Osgood Conklin.
This isn't always easy. You see, Mr. Conklin has high blood pressure, and it's wise to take him with a grain of salt. Of course, it's wiser not to take him at all. Anyway, on Thursday, he gave me a little honorary assignment to take care of on my own time, which consisted of a report he had to submit to the school board. I was to rephrase, punctuate, and proofread the 25 pages by morning. And sure enough, I got it all done by morning. In fact, when Mrs. Davis, my landlady, awakened me, I had been sleeping like a baby for over 20 minutes.
Oh, Dr. Pitt, dear. What's the trouble? Nightmare?
No, daymare. I was up all night with some extra work Mr. Conklin gave me.
Oh. Well, I guess you can use the extra money that goes with it.
Money? What money?
Surely there must be some compensation for working away from the school.
Oh, there is, Mrs. Davis. The satisfaction of a job well done, the thrill of helping my colleagues in their time of need, and the gratification that comes with the knowledge that I've assisted my superior officer on the battlefield of life. And you know something else, Mrs. Davis?
What, Connie?
The next time I work at home, it'll cost him a fin.
Well, remember this, dear. Money won't buy back your health and good looks once they've gone. If I were you, I'd flatly refuse to do any extra work at all.
Oh, but I can't do that. Mr. Conklin's my principal.
That doesn't give him the license to make a beast of burden out of you. Why, for 2 cents, I'd advise you to quit.
And if I had 2 cents, I'd take your advice. No, Mrs. Davis, even a beast of burden has to earn oat money.
Well, hurry with your shower, Connie. I've got a nice breakfast all planned for you.
Oh, I won't have time for breakfast today, Mrs. Davis. Walter Denton's taking me to school in his car so I can get this report to Mr. Conklin.
What's the matter with your car, Connie?
I had a little trouble with the steering wheel.
What kind of trouble?
It came off. It's nice of you to give me this lift today, Walter. And I'd like to compliment you on your promptness, too. You were right on time.
Oh, punctuality's a mania with me, Miss Brooks. Besides, if I wasn't on time, you let some other kid pick you up. Like I always say, the early bird catches the worm.
Well, like I always say to the other worms, let's get some men and go fishing.
Confidentially, Miss Brooks, you look like you could use a little help. You seem bushed. Frankly, I think you're work-happy, Miss Brooks.
Work-happy?
Yeah. What did you do last night after you got home from school?
I worked on a report for Mr. Conklin.
Aha, I knew it. Mr. Conklin shouldn't give you extra things to do.
Why don't you tell him about it, Walter?
No, I'm not kidding, Miss Brooks. If you let him, Mr. Conklin will make a beast of burden out of you. You gotta put your foot down.
I may put all 4 of them down.
I've been reading in the papers that there's quite a shortage of good teachers. You don't have to cow to anybody.
I don't have to what, Walter?
Cow. It's Chinese slang for polishing the apple.
Well, Walter, I don't cow to Mr. Conklin. It's just that he's my principal. And
Excuse me, Miss Brooks, but he's only your principal at school. After hours, he's just... before I quote what I'm going to quote, I'd like to make a prior statement.
Proceed.
Well, any remark I make now is merely something I overheard in my daily contact with other members of the student body and does not necessarily reflect the opinion of the repeating eavesdropper.
Well, repeat away, eavesdropper.
I've heard sundry other pupils refer to Mr. Conklin as... Like I said, Miss Brooks, this isn't necessarily my opinion of him.
You've made that very clear, Walter.
It's good. Some of the kids have spoken of Mr. Conklin as... After all, I go with his daughter, Harriet, you know.
Yes, I know.
It might not be the right thing to do to talk about my father-in-law.
Walter, you're not married yet.
Well, that's right, too. Well, I've heard him called it... Gee, I wouldn't want Harriet to know about this.
My lips are sealed, Walter. Now go on.
Okay. Now, Mr. Conklin, in the eyes of some of the undergraduates at this high school, is nothing but a... Gosh, if I was Harriet's father and he was going to marry Harriet, I wouldn't want him to go repeating things about me. Then again, he'd probably be the first one to do it. Sure he would. So I'll tell.
Tell.
A kid in the cafeteria called Mr. Conklin a big inflated bag of ego. There, I said it.
Give that boy a new Nash and a pair of pajamas to drive it in.
You won't ever mention my mentioning this, will you, Miss Brooks?
Oh, of course not, Walter. I wouldn't even want anyone to hear me thinking it. Mr. Conklin may be rather a disciplinarian, but he does have quite a job on his hands, too. Running a high school these days is difficult work. Now, just between you and me, Walter.
Yes?
How would you go about deflating a big bag of ego?
Well, the first thing I'd do is not let him think I was afraid of my job. I'd walk in with whatever work I'd done for him last night, throw it on his desk, and say, "There you are. That's the last work I do outside of my regular school duties. Take it or leave it, Buster."
Well, that sounds like sterling advice, Walter, but there's just one more thing I'd like to ask you.
What's that, Miss Brooks?
If Buster decides to leave it...
Yeah?
Where's the nearest local of the Beasts of Burden Union?
Now then, Harriet, I want the furniture in this office to be absolutely glistening.
But, Daddy, it's as neat as a pin now.
Harriet Conklin, when your father and principal asks you to polish something, grab a dust rag, girl.
Why, Daddy?
Because Mr. Jason Brill, the principal of Play City High School, is paying me a visit. You know how sarcastic and critical he can be.
But why is he coming to Madison?
Well, I'm not positive, Harriet, but I think the old pirate is here to raid one of my teachers. It's a deplorable practice, but he stole a Spanish teacher right from under the nose of Colton's principal.
But, Daddy, didn't you get our new math teacher, Mr. Fain, away from Clay City?
That, Harriet, is just a rumor. Mr. Fain came to Madison of his own free will.
You mean he joined our faculty before you gave him your own study at home to sleep in, and promised him your car whenever he wanted it, and told him about having all his meals with us free of charge and 2 movies a week thrown in?
Consider the subject closed. Now, that Brill thinks he can sneak in here like a thief in the night.
I beg your pardon.
Why,
Just call me Kettle. I'm the kettle that was being called black by that pot over there.
Now, see here, Brill. I won't... Oh, excuse me. That will be all, Harriet.
Yes, Daddy. Goodbye, Mr. Brill.
Goodbye, Harriet. Poor girl.
What do you mean, poor girl? If you've come here to get my goat, Jason Brill,
on the contrary, Osgood. It's not a goat I'm after. It's an English teacher I've got my eye on.
An English teacher?
This is war, Osgood. Remember, you crossed my frontier first.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about Mr. Fain, a good, if flighty math teacher. Okay, you've got Fain, but I'm going to get the best English teacher at Madison, Miss Constance Brooks.
Miss Brooks?
What made you pick her out?
I'm attracted to her syntax.
Very interesting, Brill, but an altogether impossible task. Why should Miss Brooks want to work for any other principal when she's used to the benevolent, tender, warm-hearted guidance of a person like myself?
That's one of the things I'm depending on. Another one is a secret weapon, Osgood. You'll find out all about it when it's too late.
Secret weapon? What secret weapon?
It's a secret, Osgood. But believe me, it's going to work.
Jason, you're being absolutely childish. There isn't the remotest possibility of Miss Brooks making any such ridiculous change as you suggest.
There isn't, Dad.
No, there isn't.
Hey, look, Osgood, I don't want to be an old I told you so, but that's just what they said right before Jack Benny switched to CBS.
Come in.
There you are, Mr. Conklin. That's the last work I do outside of my regular duties.
Miss Brooks.
That's it. Take it or leave it, Buster.
They've gotten to her. Come here, Miss Brooks. Sit down by my desk, if you please.
What? Oh, but I've got a class soon, Mr. Conklin.
That can wait. You've been working too hard lately, Miss Brooks.
I have? That is sure I have.
I don't like it, you hear? I don't like it one bit.
You don't?
We here at Madison don't want our teachers to overwork. After all, you're an educator, a person of intellect and perception, not a
beast of burden.
Exactly. Look about you, Miss Brooks. The walls of this office. That picture hanging there of Madison's first principal, Yoda Critch.
He certainly was.
There's more to a school than the people in it. There's tradition. A tradition of loyalty and industry, good fellowship and cooperation, but mostly loyalty. Why, when I think of our school song, it brings a lump to my throat. Oh, Madison, thou Madison, I love the air, thou...
Madison?
Thou Madison. Miss Brooks, come with me to the window. These hallowed walls, this lovely ivy-covered exterior. Do you know the significance of this venerable and beloved ivy, Miss Brooks?
Why, no, I don't, Mr. Conklin.
Here, I'll raise the window.
Here, let me help you.
It's caught in that scummy ivy. There we are. Now look, Miss Brooks. Look at this beautiful campus. As far as the eye can see, green grass. Now, there's one thing I want you to do before you do anything else.
No.
What?
No, I won't do it.
Won't do what?
I absolutely refuse to mow that lawn.
Starring Eve Arden will continue in just a moment, but first, here is Vern Smith. The makers of Palmolive soap are giving away $100,000 in prizes. First prize, $49,000, plus over 4,900 other cash prizes in the Big 49 Gold Rush Contest. Hundreds will strike it rich in this exciting Gold Rush Contest. One of them may be you. It's easy to enter. Just finish this sentence in 25 additional words or less. I like Palmolive soap because. That's all. Just 25 words or less to finish the sentence, I like Palmolive soap because. Then mail your entry right away along with a Palmolive soap wrapper. Try for your share of that $100,000 in prizes right now. Your chance of winning $49,000 is as good as anyone. Get entry blank with complete rules from your dealer or write your completed sentence on plain paper. Include your name and address and dealer's name and address. Mail with one Palmolive soap wrapper for each entry to Gold Rush Contest, Box 49, New York 8, New York. You better write that down. Gold Rush Contest, Box 49, New York 8, New York. Enter as often as you like, including one wrapper with each entry. But hurry, the contest closes a week from next Saturday. Mail your entry right away. Get Palmolive soap right away to help win a lovelier complexion. And try for your share of the $100,000 in cash prizes.
Well, Mr. Conklin not only canceled all extracurricular work for me, but as we stood by the window looking across the campus, he actually bent over backwards to be courteous and sweet. Of course, he didn't bend over quite far enough. But it was a surprise to see him acting so human. Although I couldn't understand the reason for this unaccustomed solicitude, I didn't let it spoil my appetite. When lunch period arrived, I was in the school cafeteria with our bashful biologist, Mr. Philip Boynton.
Here we are. You sit right down, Miss Brooks.
Oh, thanks.
Have you got everything?
Modesty forbids a direct answer. Oh, you mean on my tray? Yes, I'm all set, Mr. Boynton.
Oh, good. How do you like what they're serving in the cafeteria these days, Miss Brooks?
Well, it'll never replace food, but it's improving. It isn't what you eat in a place that's important anyway. It's with whom.
What's with whom?
With whom you eat with. Whom. Or as I once heard another English teacher say, what's with you?
Oh, you're teasing me again, Miss Brooks, but I'm getting kind of used to it. I catch on much faster now than I used to, don't you think?
Oh, yes, you're really gone, Mr. Boynton.
Not till I finish my meatballs. That's another one of those colloquial expressions, isn't it? Gone. I wonder what the derivation actually is. How a simple expression like the past tense of go could assume the connotation with which it's currently associated seems totally incomprehensible at first glance.
Eat your meatballs, Mr. Boynton, before they get warm again.
Oh, excuse me, Miss Brooks, Mr. Boynton.
Well, it's Harriet Conklin.
Hello, Harriet.
Daddy wants to see you in his office right away, Mr. Boynton, if you don't mind.
And if he does mind?
Oh, please, Miss Brooks. Mr. Conklin wouldn't summon me during my lunch period unless it was something important.
I think it is. Daddy sounded very urgent.
Maybe some of that ivy crawled into his office. You haven't forgotten our date this afternoon, Mr. Boynton.
Oh, no. I'll call for you after school and take you to the zoo. See you at 3, Miss Brooks.
All right, Mr. Boynton.
Mr. Boynton isn't always as romantic as you'd like him to be, is he, Miss Brooks?
No, Harriet, not always. Or ever, for that matter.
Well, maybe it's just as well. You know how Daddy feels about faculty members fraternizing. Not that I think Daddy's right. Sometimes Daddy can be pretty harsh. But then, if Daddy wasn't Daddy, what would he be?
Mammy. I don't know, Harriet.
I'm going up to the steam table and get some lunch, Miss Brooks. Can I bring you anything?
No, thanks. Run along, Harriet.
Okay, Miss Brooks. Poor Miss Brooks. She chases after Mr. Boynton just like Walter Denton runs after me. I beg your pardon? Why, it's Mr. Brill.
Oh, hello, Harriet. This is Mr. Hastings. Harvey, this is Osgood Conklin's daughter, Harriet.
How do you do, my dear? It's always a pleasure to meet a member of Madison's undergraduate body, especially such a charming and lovely one as yourself.
Well, thank you, Mr. Hastings.
Mr. Hastings and I were just talking, Harriet. We'll excuse you if you want to get to the steam table.
Huh? Oh, yes, Mr. Brill. Will I see you again, Mr. Hastings?
No, I would consider that a very fortuitous circumstance indeed, Harriet.
You would?
Mm.
Golly, I'll hurry with my train. Come back in a minute.
You'd better not walk backwards, Harriet, or you'll... She did. Hastings, it's marvelous. You've got something that makes women drop whatever they're doing and concentrate on you.
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Brill. I just try to be pleasant to everyone.
Uh-huh. Well, you keep it up. We'll have Connie Brooks in our English department in no time. Yeah, now, look, this is a good chance for you to meet her. She's seated at that table over by the wall, and she's alone. Don't tell her too much right now, but make an appointment for tea. Then we'll really go to work on her.
Well, if you say so, Mr. Brill, but it does seem like a kind of dirty trick with teachers so hard to get nowadays. I think...
Secret weapons don't think. They act. Now, there's Miss Brooks, Hastings. Sick her.
Yes, sir. And when I bring her back and place her at your feet, I expect a whole case of strong heart. Oh, I beg your pardon, Miss Brooks, but may I introduce myself?
What? Yes, I suppose. Well, I'm Constance Brooks.
Yes, I know. My name is Hastings, Harvey Hastings. Are these chairs occupied?
Just the one I'm sitting in. Oh, honey, help yourself, please.
Thank you. I'm not going to be in town very long, Miss Brooks, and I'll have to move rapidly. So, may I take you home after school?
That's a little too rapidly. Just who are you, Mr. Hastings?
Well, I'm a sort of a friend of Mr. Conklin.
He has?
I dropped over today with Mr. Brill.
Oh, the principal of Clay City High. What are you doing here, slumming?
That must be the famous Brooks wit I've heard so much about.
You can stop now. I have.
Seriously, Miss Brooks, I think that your undergraduate body is wonderful.
Mr. Hastings.
No. The kids.
Oh.
Great bunch. Your faculty's nice, too.
Yes, I still have them all. Oh, the teachers.
Miss Brooks, there's one thing I just can't understand. How does a youthful, intelligent, lovely-looking person like yourself happen to be lunching alone?
I beg your pardon?
Didn't you hear what I said, Miss Brooks?
You lost me after youthful.
No, really, I just can't figure it out. All by yourself in this big cafeteria. Oh, a thing like this could never happen at Clay City.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Hastings.
Miss Brooks, I'm writing a book on the teaching of English in our high schools, and I'd certainly like to include an interview with Madison's outstanding authority on the subject.
Oh, an interview. Well, I did have a date this afternoon, but...
Shall we say tea for two at 4?
Well, I guess so, but there's something I can't help thinking.
Oh, what's that, Miss Brooks?
Tea for 2 at 4 will mean zoo for 1 at 3.
And that's why I've summoned you to my office, Mr. Boynton. Jason Brill and his secret weapon must be stopped. You've got to make Miss Brooks stay on at Madison.
But why me, Mr. Conklin? You know how timid I am.
Well, you've got to get over it, boy. You like Miss Brooks, don't you?
Oh, yes, sir, but what about your stand on fraternization?
I've reversed it as of now. Look, Boynton, all you have to do is act the way you really feel. Or better yet, the way you've seen other people act.
What do you mean, Mr. Conklin?
Well, you've seen leading men on the screen, haven't you? Humphrey Bogart in Knock on Any Door, Errol Flynn in Don Juan.
No, sir, I haven't seen those.
Oh, well, what's the last movie you did see?
The last movie I saw was called, I believe it was called Aerosmith. I don't go to movies much, Mr. Conklin. You see, I'm more of a radio fan. I listen to those mystery programs a lot.
Mystery programs, eh? Well, that's just as good. According to my wife and daughter, those private detective fellows are as attractive as any of the movie stars. Now, why don't you act like one of them when Miss Brooks comes around?
Me? Act like a private eye?
Certainly. From what I hear, most of them merely sit behind a desk until some beautiful girl comes in. Then they open the drawer, take a big drink, and then they say, "Come on, babe, we're going on a caper." Whatever that is. Well, I won't take no for an answer, Boynton. You've got to do it.
Well, Mr. Conklin...
It's for Madison, boy. Tell me that you'll try, Boynton. That's all I ask.
All right, Mr. Conklin. I'll try.
Come in. Oh, it's me, Mr. Boynton. I'm glad I caught you before you left school for the day. I won't be able to go to the zoo with you this afternoon. Mr. Boynton, did you hear what I said? What are you doing at that desk?
Park the frame, baby. That's it. Right there. Now, what's the caper, sweetheart?
The caper?
Now, look, I know the opposition's trying to put the heist on certain persons, but we've got a few angles, too.
Angles?
They can't get away with it, see? Now, we've got them covered like a bubble dancer in Boston, see? And that comes right from Mr. Big, see?
Thank you, Edward G. Robinson.
You've got to stay here, Miss Brooks. You can't leave Madison. I don't know what their secret weapon is, but...
Just a minute. Who are we now, Buck Rogers?
No, it's me, Mr. Boynton. That was just distilled water I drank.
Distilled water?
I don't know what Mr. Brill's planning, but don't you...
Then perhaps I'd better explain it myself. You'll excuse us, I know. The door was open. I believe you've met Mr. Hastings, Miss Brooks.
Oh, yes, I have.
This is Mr. Boynton, Mr. Hastings.
How do you do?
Hello.
We've got to get back to Clay City a little earlier than I'd planned, Miss Brooks, so I'm afraid your interview will have to be postponed.
However, I'm sure that we can take up just where we left off when we are all together in Clay City, huh?
Clay City?
Yes. As you know, a good teacher is always in demand, Miss Brooks.
You teacher snatcher. What has he told you, Miss Brooks? Don't listen to him. Don't listen to anybody.
Well, that isn't hard. Nobody's saying anything. What is all this anyway?
But Mr. Hastings here is head of the English department at Clay City, Miss Brooks.
Aha! Then he's your secret weapon, huh?
Well, if you want to put it that way, actually, I'm a very simple man.
Yes, you are, in a jet-propelled sort of way.
Now, see here, Bill. I won't have... You can't do it. I'll have you...
Oh, stop puffing, Osgood. You've come to a station. What do you say, Miss Brooks? Would you like to transfer to Clay City?
Transfer? Well, come to think of it, I have been overworking lately. I might consider a transfer at that.
Oh, you can't, Miss Brooks.
Well, why can't she? Have you got some extra chores she can do without pay?
How about it, Mr. Conklin? Any more extra work?
No, Miss Brooks, none at all.
It's very pleasant at Clay City, Miss Brooks. Say you'll come.
Say you won't.
Which is it, Miss Brooks?
Well, it's quite a problem. But now I'd like to ask you a question, Mr. Brill. If I were a biology teacher, would you want me to come to Clay City?
A biology teacher? Well, frankly, no. There's no opening for a biology teacher.
That's all I wanted to know. Good day, gentlemen. I'm remaining at Madison.
Well, we tried. Come on, Hastings.
Goodbye, Miss Brooks.
Good for you, Miss Brooks.
Old Madison, thou Madison.
As old as Thomas Addison.
Oh, hallowed hall.
Oh, basketball.
How short the day.
How short the pay.
When we've gray hair at Madison, we'll still be there at Madison.
Hello, Clay City.
Our Miss Brooks returns in just a moment, but first... Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Only Luster Cream brings you Kay Dumas' magic formula blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Gives loveliness lather even in hardest water. Glamorizes your hair as you wash it. Luster Cream, not a soap, not a liquid, but a dainty cream shampoo. Leaves hair fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen. Soft, manageable, gives new beauty to all hairdos or permanents. 4-ounce jar, $1. Smaller sizes, either tubes or jars. Tonight, try Luster Cream shampoo and be a
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo. And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, Mr. Conklin finally left us all alone in Mr. Boynton's laboratory.
Oh, gosh, Miss Brooks, you sure had me worried.
Were you really afraid I'd leave, Mr. Boynton?
Oh, sure, I couldn't even talk. I was so nervous.
You didn't get much of a chance. But now that we're alone, Mr. Boynton, is there anything else you want to say to me?
Yes, Miss Brooks, there is.
What?
If we don't hurry, we'll be late for the zoo. Where are you going, Miss Brooks? What are you doing at my desk?
Park the frame, baby. You're in for the caper of your life.
Next week, tune into another Our Miss Brooks show brought to you by Palmolive Soap, Your Beauty Hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair. Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, written and directed by Al Lewis, with music by Wilbur Hatch. Mr. Boynton is played by Jeff Chandler. Mr. Conklin by Gail Gordon. Others in tonight's cast were Jane Morgan, Dick Crenna, Gloria McMillan, Gerald Moore, and Frank Nelson.
Men, do you shave with a lather or brushless shave cream? Palmolive shaving cream comes both ways. And whichever way you prefer to shave, you'll find that using either Palmolive brushless or Palmolive lather shaving cream can bring you more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Here's the proof. 2,548 men tried the new Palmolive way to shave described on the tube. And no matter how they had shaved before, 3 out of every 4 got more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Get Palmolive brushless or Palmolive lather shaving cream today.
For mystery liberally sprinkled with laughs, listen to Mr. and Mrs. North, the exciting, fun-packed adventures of an amateur detective and his beautiful wife. Tune in Tuesday evenings over most of these same stations. And be with us again next week at this same time for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks. Bob Lamont speaking. Stay tuned now for Life with Luigi, which follows immediately over most of these same stations. This is CBS, where 99 million people gather every week. The Columbia Broadcasting System.
A pack of Avalon cigarettes, please.
Yes, sir. Oh, just a moment, sir. Don't forget your change. You'd never guess that Avalon's cost you less.
So why not always travel on with Avalon?
Good evening, friends. Good evening. This is Del King saying welcome to Avalon Time with Red Foley, Jeanette, Edna Stillwell, the Avalon Chorus, Bob Strong and his orchestra, and Red Skelton. The orchestra opens the program with Don't Look Now. Ladies and gentlemen, Avalons are the newest and most important recent development in cigarette history. They're quality cigarettes that sell for less, 3 to 5 cents less than other popular price brands. And 3 to 5 cents saved on every pack of cigarettes you smoke really means something. Take it from me. It means many, many extra dollars in your pocket every year. But without knowing it, you'd never guess that Avalons cost you less. The quality of the Turkish and domestic tobaccos blended in union-made Avalons cannot be surpassed by any other cigarette, regardless of price, regardless of brand. For cigarette value never known before, try Avalon. Why not make it tonight? And now we bring you the only man in radio who hangs around the Navy Pier so he can get jokes by the gods, Red Skelton.
Thank you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Say, Del, speaking of sailors, I took my first cruise last week on the SS Panhandler. Just a tramp steamer. But the boat was nice, though. It was very particular who rode on it. In fact, it was so particular they wouldn't take anything but registered cattle. But it was really a nice boat. Everything aboard was shipshape. In fact, the girls aboard were shipshape. My uncle... What happened? My uncle used to be a well-known sea captain. In fact, even the finance company calls him the old skipper. You know, it's the first time I ever rode on a boat. It was like being on a train. I rode the rail all the way. The captain looked at me and he says, my good man, you have a weak stomach. At a time like that, he wanted distance. Boy, what a captain. Look at... The captain wanted me to eat at his table, but I refused. Why should I pay for a first-class ticket and then eat with a help? Oh, what a screwy captain, though. He yelled, all hands on deck. I put my hands on deck and everybody stepped on them. Our first stop was a little island where a lot of native boys were diving in the water for pennies. Of course, I didn't get much out of that. Maybe 5 or 6 cents. But you meet a lot of strange people aboard. There was one lady, a fat lady, with a home bottle, built like a house. She spent the whole night walking around the deck trying to reduce. Well, I guess you read someplace about those hips that pass in the night. But you know, I'm really lucky to be here. There was a terrible storm blew up the third day, and everybody thought the boat was going to sink, and the captain started yelling, save the women and children first. Well, you know, it was disgusting the way some of the men tried to get in those lifeboats. No kidding. One guy nearly tore my dress off of me. Well, I think I've been out here sailing around long enough, so I'll pull into shore, and, Well, I think I've been out here sailing around long enough, so I'll pull into shore, and, See, I even read the blotches on the paper. That's mine. I'll let the Speedboat Strong take over with Begin the Begin. Hit it, sailor, but salty. Bob Strong and the orchestra playing Begin the Begin. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Strong is the only conductor that doesn't lead the band with a baton. He just waves his hair.
Oh, say, Skelton, I noticed you have on a new suit tonight.
Yeah, I was down in the dumps today, and I always buy a new suit when I'm down in the dumps.
I was wondering why you bought your suit, Skelton.
What'd you say, Del?
That was Roger, the fiddle player in the band.
Oh, little slur echo, eh? Why, that guy's not even a fiddle player. I'll bet I'm more at home with a violin than he is.
Not on the radio, Skelton.
No?
On the radio, you'd be more at home with Vows.
Okay, Major.
And you better not get caught in the rain with that suit.
Look, I ain't worried about the rain. This is a good suit.
Maybe you think so, but confidentially, it shrinks.
What's that?
Is that the telephone bell?
It ain't Jimmy Fiddler. I'll take that. Hello. Avalon cigarette program, Red Skelton speaking. Can't even say my own name.
Hello, Skelton.
Yes.
This is Sergeant Browning at our police headquarters. We've been hearing a lot about you, Skelton.
Yeah, well, you can't prove anything. Now, look, I won't talk until I get a mouthful. A mouthpiece.
What we want to get you for is the policeman's ball.
I didn't take the policeman's ball. Honest, I didn't.
Save the wisecracking. We want you to come over and entertain at the policeman's annual ball.
Oh, the ball. Oh, the policeman's ball. Oh, sure. Listen, I'll bring the whole gang over. Can you send a couple of squad cars over to pick us up?
No, but I think the chief might send over the paddy wagon.
Yeah, the paddy wagon? You want me to come over and entertain at the policeman's ball? He's going to send a patrol wagon for me to ride in? Red Skelton riding a wagon that they haul criminals around in? Tell him okay. Tell him to send wagon number 2. The springs are better.
That I will. And say, Skelton, do you know where Fred Allen lives?
Well, yes, I know where Fred Allen lives. Why?
Well, if you can get him, you don't have to bother coming over.
Oh, I'll be there. Don't worry. Hey, gang, come on. Hey, Bob Strong, get the boys together. We're going over to the policeman's ball.
Okay, Skelton. What music shall I take? Rhapsody and Blue Conch?
No, and don't take Flatfoot Flugie either.
Hello, Mr. Skelton.
Hello, Edna. Say, boy, me going to a policeman's ball. You know, I'm getting to be a big shot.
How would you like to be as important as I am?
Why, are you important, Edna?
I'll say. You know, next week the president and his wife are going to visit the San Francisco World's Fair.
But how does that make you important, Edna?
Why, Mrs. Roosevelt's going to write and tell me all about it.
My word.
No, my day.
That's some connection. Say, where's Red Foley?
He's over there rehearsing his lines for that Western picture he's going to make.
Yeah? Let's sneak over and listen to what he's saying. Come on.
Why, killing's too good for you, pies. Good for you, pies and teeth. Why, you ornery critter have a good
Hey,
notion.
Foley.
Quiet, tenderfooter, I'll drill you like it was an oil well.
You wouldn't dare.
Hey, listen, tender.
Oh, I did that.
I forgot myself. Hey, what do you want?
Well, look, we're going over the policeman's ball. Now, you're not such a bad hombre that you're afraid of the cops, are you?
Oh, don't worry about me, Skelton. Nobody's been able to pin anything on me since I was a baby.
Yeah. Not bad, Jackson. Come in.
Mr. Benny?
Benny? No, I'm Red Skelton.
Say, how many miles is it to Waukegan?
Oh, there's a guy that's really been knocking around the country. I hope he don't get into Yankee Stadium and start rapping on Joe Louis.
By the way, Red, I got your tickets for the Louis Galento fight.
Oh, they good?
Yeah, the best I could do, though, was the 2 seats in the 4th row.
Well, that's swell. 2 seats in the 4th row at the Yankee Stadium.
These seats are in the 4th row of a 5th Avenue bus.
Yeah. 5th Avenue bus? I can't see the Louis and Galento fight from there.
Well, it'll be the same thing.
Yeah, what do you mean?
They're going to drive up in front of the Yankee Stadium, ring a bell, and knock over a beer barrel.
Say, you know, if I happen to think I'm going to the fight, I better cancel my lesson in public speaking today.
Are you taking lessons in public speaking?
Yeah, I've been muffing too many words lately, so I'm taking a course in public speaking. And you know, when I get finished, you know what I'll be?
Sure. Public loudmouth number 1.
Now listen, wise guy, I'll be a great orator.
Say, you don't even know what an orator is, Skelton.
No, I do too. An orator is a guy who's willing to lay down your life for somebody else's country. Say, come on, let's all have a get going over the policeman's ball. What are you going to sing, Jeanette?
Just a minute.
Say, who are you?
I'm Professor Tommy Mack, your voice instructor.
My voice instructor? Do you always talk that way?
No, only when I speak.
Yeah.
Are you ready for your lesson?
Yeah, I need somebody to teach me how to read a script.
I'll tell you, Drew, last week it was positively disgusting the way you tripped over your twist.
Yeah, all I need is a few more months and I'll be in the fur business.
Now, the first thing you must concentrate on is enunciation, pronunciation, and diction.
Boy, what that guy couldn't do with the any benny fishes.
Oh, a wise guy, huh?
Don't pay any attention to him. That's Roger, the fiddle player.
Now, I just want to see how you control your breath.
Yeah.
Now, let's see you pant like this.
Okay. How's that?
No good, your pants are too short.
Look, most of my trouble comes from not knowing where to place my tongue.
Well, the tongue should be plain, but it should be placed between two pieces of bread. Oh, you mean the tongue in your mouth? Oh, I see. I'm so sorry. Now, open up your mouth, please. Well, the teeth are okay.
Yeah. The teeth? What are teeth?
Teeth is plural for tooth. Many tooths make teeth. Teeth is lots of tooth. Without teeth, you can't eat. Any dope knows what teeth is.
You ought to know, Professor.
What's the matter with that guy? He's doing something. He's better not run into my...
Don't pay no attention to him. Listen, Professor, you better hurry and give him my first lesson. I've got to get over to the policeman's ball.
Okay, now the first thing you do is you strengthen the muscles of your throat by hitting on the bar.
Oh, won't the bartender object?
Ah, you're stupid, too, huh? Well, I think we better learn how to recite.
Recite?
Yes, so follow me. Hi, diddle, diddle, the cat and the fiddle. People trying to make a dope out of me. Let's try this thing once again. Hi, diddle, diddle, the cat and the fiddle. And the cow and jumped out. Oh, I'm all mixed up myself. Hi, diddle, diddle, the cat and the fiddle. And the cow jumped over the moon.
The little dog laughed.
The little dog laughed. You see, that's fun.
Say, where did you get that goon?
What the hell? That guy punched right into my side.
Now, wait a minute.
I just wanted like a
Now, don't get excited, Professor.
Excited? Who's excited? I'm not excited.
Hey, wait a minute, Professor. You better come back and finish my lesson. Say, he's got a heavenly voice, hasn't he? That's the first time I ever knew, though, that heaven could speak. Sing it, Jeanette. We got to go to the ball.
I never knew heaven could speak, but now I do. I learned it through a conversation with you. I never knew heaven could dance, but now I do. With every step, another little dream comes true. I always thought heaven was somewhere way up high in the sky up above. I never thought heaven was someone like you for me to love. I never knew heaven could hold such tender charm. I never knew heaven could be here in my arms. I always thought heaven was somewhere way up high in the sky up above. I never thought heaven was someone like you for me to love. I never knew heaven could hold such tender charm. I never knew heaven could be here in my
Wherever you go, you'll find tobacco dealers selling more and more Avalon cigarettes. And you want to know the reason? Well, I'll tell you. Because Avalons have that national appeal of highest quality plus real money-saving economy. Two all-important points of superiority that smart buyers immediately recognize and take advantage of. Avalons are positively second to none in quality. They're union-made from the very finest Turkish and domestic tobaccos. And still, they cost 3 to 5 cents less per pack than other popular-priced brands. Now imagine, 3 to 5 cents less for cigarettes that can't be taught. Ladies and gentlemen, cash in on this, the biggest cigarette money-saving opportunity of the day. So the next time, ask for Avalons. You'd never guess they cost you less. We now take you to the Policeman's Ball, where we find Red Skelton dancing with Edna Stillwell on the crowded dance floor.
Oh, I'm sorry, Edna.
Oh, that's all right. You know, Red, I dreamt I was dancing with you last night.
You did?
Yeah. When I woke up, my little brother was pounding my feet with a flat iron.
Say, let's try some of that jitterbug stuff. Come on, let's jive, baby. Let's get on the old groovaroo. Oh, get the stuff. Uh-oh, there's a cop. Don't give your right name.
Come on, pull over. Pull over at the curb there, you.
What's the matter, officer?
Can't you see that sign there? No heavy trucking on the outer driveway.
No heavy trucking on the outer driveway. That's what is known as corn off of the cob. Well, okay, officer, we won't let it happen again. You look at the policeman, isn't it? Most cops I've seen since the last nursemaid picnic. Say, look at the dirty look those bulls are giving me. Why don't you guys look at somebody else for a change? Well, look who's here. Are you a policeman?
Well, I ain't rent you on the mountain.
Thank you, Lee, the policeman.
Yes, Mr. Skelton, I'm just dying to get my hooks on some crooks.
Yeah?
Why, I've got a gun and handcuffs.
Yeah.
Why, just take a look at these snarky-looking bracelets.
Say, there's some bracelets, all right. Don't you think they look more businesslike, though, if they didn't have those rhinestones in them?
What kind of a policeman are you, Herky?
Well, you see, it's like this, Miss Stillwell. When I first joined the force, I went to the mounted police headquarters and said, "Give me a man a horse who can ride."
Yeah?
I wasn't the man. So they made me a patrolman. Then I complained about patrolling the streets because it made my feet spread. Now I sit in a radio car all day and say it's just something till I'm spread.
Have you done any dancing yet, Herky?
Oh, shucks, Mr. Skelton, I can't dance.
You can't?
Because when I dance, I exert myself. And when I exert myself, I glow!
Well, when you gotta glow, you gotta glow. You know, you can always get out of your wet clothes and do a dry martini.
Oh, Mr. Skelton, my goodness, I hope you don't ever use anything like that on your program.
I wouldn't dare.
Well, I gotta go now. You see, I'm just a rookie, and tonight they're making me scrub the jail floors.
Yeah?
So I gotta go and wash out a few things. I'll see you later.
Good old Herky. Say, it's about time for the show to start, Edna. Maybe I better get up on the stage and start throwing those bulls a little corn.
Hey, Red, you're on.
Yeah? Look, tell them to give me a fanfare, Del. Gee, I hate to go on, I'm telling you. The same thing happened last year. I'm in the vegetable business again.
Well, don't forget, this is another year.
Yeah, but don't forget, these are the same jugs. Well, there's the trumpet of doom. Well, here goes nothing.
Say, Edna, what's Red so nervous about?
Oh, he thinks the cops don't like him.
No, they really love him.
Well, no vegetables yet.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Red, try that surefire joke about the cops.
Oh, okay, I'll give him. Say, fellas, did you ever hear the one about the policeman who raided the nudist colony? And the big headlines in the paper the following day read, Bulls raid bears. Get somebody else entertain you. Such a loud mouth out there. No use, Edna. Those cops will never like me. Say, you know what? I just happened to think of something. I've been entertaining here at the Policeman's Ball for the past 3 years, and every time the same thing has happened. And I just now realize why they'll never like Red Skelton.
Why not?
Why not? You know how mad bulls get when they see red.
A new distinctive interpretation of a familiar favorite. Red Foley and the Avalon Chorus sing Roll Along, Prairie Moon.
Roll along, prairie moon, roll along while I croon. Shine above, lamp of love, prairie moon. Oh, shine on prairie moon. Way up there in the blue, maybe you're lonely too. Swinging by in the sky, prairie moon. Oh, prairie moon. I need your tender light to make things right. You know I'm so alone tonight. Alone tonight. For away shed your beams on the girl of my dreams. Tell her too I've been through prairie moon. There's a wonderful light in the sky tonight, with silver the hills are spread, and the moon seems so near that I know it will hear every word of my love serenade. For away shed your beams on the girl of my dreams. Tell her too I've been through prairie moon. Oh, keep the shining high, prairie moon. Prairie moon.
Well, thanks a lot, Bob Strong, for letting us in on those famous three little words. And what I have to say are just a few words that mean money in your pocket. Friends, when you can get supreme quality in Avalons for less, why pay more? So the next time, ask for Avalon.
And don't forget your change.
Yes, Avalon cigarettes, your friends cost several cents less than others. You two can save the difference like all of us Avalon brothers. Each pack is wrapped in cellophane, each pack is union made. No wonder folks from coast to coast say Avalon make a parade. So why not always Avalon with Avalon?
Yes, you'd never guess, but Avalons cost only 10 cents plus city or state tax.
Well, I guess that's about takes care of everything for tonight, eh, Del?
Yes, Red, that polishes it off.
Say, Del, when I get through with my course in public speaking, maybe I can tell my jokes in a cultivated voice, huh?
Sure, Skelton. Then you can give us cultivated corn.
Yeah. Oh, you can't win. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. See you next week.
Be with us next Saturday evening at the same time when the Brown and Williamson Tobacco Corporation will again present Avalon Time. As our special guest star, a character you all know and love, the old-timer, featured artist on Fibber McGee and Molly's program. Del King speaking. Good night.
The selection I never knew heaven could speak performed on this program is from Rose of Washington Square.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is floor. F-L-O-O-R.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
Groucho! That's me, Groucho Marx. Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couples. Fetterman, who's supposed to try for it?
Well, we asked if there were any high school students here tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Donna Eberhard and Claire Thompson. Come on in, folks. I'd like you to meet Groucho Marx, right over here.
Welcome, kids, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers, and if you say the secret word, you'll divide $100 in cash. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Donna Eberhard, and Claire Thompson. Oh, nice names. High school students? Yeah. What high school do you attend, Donna?
Very nice high school.
Did anybody ever tell you had very pretty blue eyes, Donna?
No, they did.
You don't mind if I don't believe what you just said?
I don't care.
That's what I like, indifference in a woman. How old are you, Donna?
17.
17, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And how old are you, Claire?
18.
18. Well, that makes 18, 17, 19, 20, 30. Well, I guess I'm just a generation behind you two, huh? Donna, would you say I belong to your father's generation?
Yes, I would, because my father's often said that his father used to take him to your movies.
Well, that's true. They used to exhibit our pictures in a covered wagon right outside of Sioux City. And after the show, we'd all go over to Custer's Dam for last stand for some Christmas. How old is your grandfather?
Oh, about 74.
That's me, all right. Now, Donna, what would you like to be when you graduate? You're not going to be a diplomat. That's Since that field is closed to you, what do you crave in the way of a vocation?
I'd like to be a nurse.
A nurse? Mm-hmm. I've had a pain in my back for the last 2 years. What kind of a nurse?
Just a practical, registered nurse.
Practical? Well, aren't they all practical? They are when they talk to me. You have no idea how practical those girls are. And Claire, what is your ambition?
Oh, I want to be a FBI agent.
Are you studying towards that ambition, Claire?
Yeah.
What way? What are you doing to perfect yourself for this?
Oh, playing football. Well, I take subjects for it, a few.
Huh?
I take a few subjects for it, like math and a few things.
Uh-huh. And what do you do after math? No. Now, Clara, are you on the team?
Yes, sir.
What position do you play?
Fullback.
Are you interested in football, Donna?
Yes, I am.
What position do you play?
Oh, I don't play any position.
Oh, well, what do you do?
No, I just follow the team.
You do, huh? Do they ever wonder what you're doing in the shower? How do you feel about athletics in general, Donna?
I like all sports.
You do, huh? Would you consider an old sport? There used to be an old vaudeville joke about, the fellow would say, do you like indoor sports? And she'd say yes if he goes home early. You don't hear that joke often very often. I think that explains why. Do you have any extracurricular activities?
Oh, we have an honor organization. You have to have a B and 3 A's to get into it.
That's how you qualify? A B and 3 A's?
Yes, it is.
A B and 3 A's. That's... Well, no, you'll probably get a sheepskin, won't you? Now, as a football player, do you observe training rules?
Oh, sure.
What are the rules?
Oh, no drinking, no smoking, and you have to be asleep by 9.
Oh, that's easy. You get to school at 8:45, you're asleep by 9. What do you do in football training?
Oh, we scrimmage and wind sprints, run laps. And...
Wind sprints? What's wind sprints? There's no fellow named Wind Sprints. Charlie Wind Sprints. Who lives in Toledo, huh? What is a wind sprint, huh?
That's just sprints, short sprints, 40 yards up to 100 or something.
No, like the Sprints of Wales? Is that it?
No relation.
There's no relation at all, right? Well, what are the fellows wearing on the campus this year, Claire? Anything unusual?
Oh, they wear Levi's and no belts.
Mm-hmm. You don't wear belts on your jeans?
No.
What keeps them up besides the police department? Are there any unusual fads among school kids these days, Donna, like swallowing goldfish?
None that I could think of.
Surely there must be something strange they're doing. Now, think hard, Donna. Get those blue eyes working.
Oh, the boys may be dyeing their hair green again.
Well, I guess you're right. There's nothing unusual about them. Well, you're nice children. I'm sure you'll both have a lot of fun with the football team this year. Now, in just a minute, you're going to work together for a chance at $1,500. Right now, I want you to pay close attention to Fenneman.
All across the country, DeSoto Plymouth dealers are known for the fair and square way they conduct business. In addition to treating you customers with the fairness you deserve, DeSoto Plymouth dealers are headquarters for two of America's outstanding automobiles, the brilliant DeSoto and the beautiful Plymouth. The DeSoto commands attention at every turn with its sweeping, graceful lines. DeSoto takes you over the roughest roads smoothly and comfortably because of its full cradled ride. The DeSoto is an economical car to operate, and it lets you enjoy the pleasure of driving without shifting. Be sure to drive a DeSoto before you decide on any car. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. So look for those two great names linked together, DeSoto, Plymouth.
Okay, now let's see if you two will get a chance at the $1,500. Fenneman, explain the rules.
Each of our three couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they want on each of 4 questions. The couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,500 DeSoto Plymouth question at the end of the show. Our other 2 couples are in a waiting room off stage, so they don't know what's happening out here.
All right, now here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected nursery rhymes as your category. Now here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you try?
10.
10. How many fiddlers did Old King Cole have?
3.
3 is right. And they're on their way. They have $30. Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. Now, how much of the $30 will you try?
10.
Okay, 10.
$10. Who are made out of frogs and snails and puppy dog tails?
Boys.
Little boys is right. All right, Simon's out there. They have $40. Here's your third question. Now, how much of the 40 will you try? Talk right up now.
20.
$20. How many blackbirds baked in a pie?
4 and 20.
4 and 20 is right. Now, really, Why, now you kids all have $60. Here's your last chance to be the other couples. Now, how much will you bet? 20.
Okay, 20.
What did Daddy promise to bring Baby Bunting?
Rabbit.
A rabbit skin. Yes, so they wind up with a grand total of $80. Thanks and good luck from the Detroit Plymouth dealers.
And kids, don't go too far away.
A rabbit, but you couldn't bring a rabbit skin without bringing a rabbit.
I was going to tell the kids not to go too far away because you still have a chance at the big question at the end of the show. Groucho, our other couples are off stage in a waiting room.
Good place for it.
So they don't know, you see, the secret word is floor. Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a poultryman and a housewife to be on the program, and here they come now. Mrs. Claire Tucker and Mr. Alan Bell. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, children, for your bet your life. And if you say the secret word, you'll divide $100 in cash. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Mrs. Claire Tucker, huh?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Alan Bell.
Yes, sir.
You're a poultryman, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Where are you from?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, huh? And Mrs. Claire Tucker, where are you from?
Well, I'm from Long Beach, but I'm originally from Macon, Georgia.
Well, I suspected you were south of the Mason-Dixon line.
Yes, sir.
People in Long Beach don't have that kind of an accent. Right? They have an accent, but it's not that one. Right? It's a kind of a seaweed accent they have. How long have you been away from Macon, Georgia?
Well, I've been out here 8 years, but I lived in Miami for about 20 years in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And you prefer Long Beach?
Yes, sir. And my husband's a Floridian, too, and he's gone Californian strictly.
Does your husband know that you go around calling him a Floridian? Those are fighting words in some states. How long have you been married, Claire?
Well, I've been married to this fella 10 years.
Oh, this is Exhibit B?
Yes, sir.
And the first one?
I was married to him 25 years.
What does your husband do for a living?
He's a carpenter.
Is that how you nailed him?
No, he was with the water company of Fort Lauderdale, Florida when I met him.
What did he do there? Block up water?
No. Well, he came out to see about why we didn't have any water at the house. He was a meter man.
Mm-hmm. And you wanted to meet a man at that time?
Well, we have 9 children.
You wanted to meet a man with 9 children?
I had 9 and he had 4.
Oh. Did he know you had 9 when he came out to pick them up?
He didn't know it, but he soon found out.
Are you married, Al?
Yes, sir.
Some poultryman. Got himself in the coop. A DeSoto coop, of course. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Now, where is your poultry shop, Mr. Bell?
That's Bell's Poultry Farm, 2636 South Crenshaw, Los Angeles.
All right, you can stop crowing now. Let's not overdo it, Al, huh? Now, just what do you do as a chicken chase, as a poultry man, huh?
I retail poultry.
You retail poultry, eh? That sounds like pretty specialized work, doesn't it? For example, say a rooster has lost his tail. How do you retail a rooster?
I buy wholesale and sell retail.
Oh, I see. Do you sell them live?
No, dressed.
Well, if you put new tails on them, I'd say they were overdressed. Huh? How much would you charge for dressing a chicken? Say about 110 pounds.
You and I are thinking of 2 different kinds of chicken.
Okay, you stick to your chickens and I'll stick to mine. Now tell me, Drumstick, why is poultry so expensive?
Well, it's our poultry is just a little higher than it was last year.
Now, if they go much higher, you'll need an anti-aircraft gun to bring them down. How much do you charge for a chicken at your place?
Well, just depends what kind of a chicken you want.
Well, this is a shot in the dark, but let's say I want to eat it.
Well,
how much would that be? Huh?
Well, what do you want? A roaster, or a fryer, or a stewer?
Well, I think a stewed chicken would be fine.
Well, for that, we'll give you an old hen.
I'll thank you to mind your own business. guy from Philadelphia. He's plenty sharp, this fellow. Now, how can I tell if your eggs are fresh?
You don't have to worry about my eggs.
Look, if you think I'm laying awake at night worrying about your eggs, you're a bigger cluck than I think you are. Now, what's the most difficult thing about running a poultry shop, Mr. Bell?
Well, it's where you get your chickens and where they come from.
You're in the poultry business and you don't know where chickens come from? Fine poultry man, huh? Have you ever wondered where your eggs came from?
My eggs come from Joe Breyer's egg farm in Costa Mesa.
That reminds me of an old joke. Which came first, the chicken or Joe Breyer's egg farm? Well, I think you two are a couple of good eggs, and I think you're going to be very happy together. Now, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for $1,500. You run your $20 into more than our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the big question. I can't tell you how much our first couple won, but Fetterman's off stage to remind our listeners.
The high school students won $80.
Here we go. Let's see how high you can build your $20. You selected former Academy Award winners as your category. Now, here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you try?
10? Yeah, $10.
$10. Who won the award in 1942 as Mrs. Miniver?
Greer Garson.
Greer Garson is correct. And you're just on your way. You now have $30. You're a smart chicken head, Bell. And remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. Now, how much? $40? $30. How much of the $30 will you bet on your second question?
25.
25. Who won the award in 1945 as the alcoholic writer in The Lost Weekend?
Ray Milland.
Ray Milland is correct. Oh, these people are really coming. You now have $55. Now, here's your third question. How much of the $55 will you bet now?
50.
50. Who won the award in 1949 as the politician in All the King's Men?
Broderick Crawford.
Broderick Crawford is correct. Now they're trying to $105. Now, here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet?
$100.
$100? Who won the award for her portrayal of Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind?
Vivian Lee.
Vivian Lee is correct. And they wind up with a grand total of $205. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Yes, and now we'll soon know who's going to get the chance at the big $1,500 DeSoto Plymouth question. Because, you see, at this point, the poultryman and the housewife, the people who were just here...
Yes, I remember them.
They have
it's quite clear to me, Fenner.
I was going to say they are leading with $205.
That's a shrewd observation, isn't it, huh?
I guess you know the secret word is still floor.
Yes, I do. Still floor is a very nice word. Huh?
Just floor. We invited some people to the program tonight, ladies and gentlemen, who make their living handling money. And just before we went on the air, Miss Connie Conray and Mr. Arthur Gruby were chosen to be on the show. And here they are, Groucho. Folks, meet Groucho Marx right here.
Welcome, folks, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. And if you say the secret word, you'll split $100 in cash. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Mrs. Connie Conray, I'm glad to see you. Where are you from, Connie?
Texas.
Texas, eh? Whereabouts?
Crockett.
Crockett?
That's a small town off of Houston.
Oh. Is that named after Davy?
Sam.
Sam. Well, wasn't there a Davy Crockett, too?
David Crockett. Sam Houston.
Oh. Let's slip over to Nacogdoches, huh? Mr. Gruby, what kind of... Isn't that a kind of an unusual name?
Well, I think it is... Scotch and German. I think originally it was Grub, and somebody changed it, made it G-R-U-B-E instead of G-R-U-B-B.
Have you ever shot BB?
Not for a long time.
Do you prefer Gruby to Grub?
I suppose so.
Well, if I was hungry, I'd prefer Grub. I never ate any Gruby. Now, where are you from?
New York City, originally.
New York City?
That's right.
And were you born there?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. You haven't got much of a New York accent.
Oh, I was born...
Whereabouts?
On First Avenue.
Oh, on First Avenue.
That's right.
I was born 78th Street. On Third Avenue. I was born upstairs, but I mean it was... It was right over a butcher shop. Huh? You say you handle money, is that right? Fenton says you handle money? Do you still handle money? Are you still in that?
I'm retired now.
Oh. Well, if you handle somebody else's money, I can understand why. Well, what have you retired from, Mr. Gruby?
I was with the U.S. Secret Service for 28 years.
not so loud. I think there's a dictaphone on the microphone. Now, Mrs. Conray, is that right?
Yes.
You're a money expert, too?
Well, it passes through my hands.
It passes through your hands? Well, it passes through mine, too, but I'm no money expert. What is your occupation, Connie?
I work in a penny arcade.
Oh, pennies from heaven, huh? Are you what I see when I drop a penny in the peep show machine?
Oh, no, you're thinking about the dancing girls.
Well, I wasn't, but I could be persuaded. What do you do at this penny arcade?
I'm the cashier, and I change dollars into pennies.
Uh-huh. And where do you do your changing?
At the Joyland Arcade, downtown Los Angeles.
Arthur, tell us something about your work. What are your duties as a Secret Service man?
Well, our principal function is to protect the President of the United States.
Against who? Republicans? Have you ever guarded a president?
Oh, yes. I was one of the last man that shook the hands of President Wilson when he left Pueblo, Colorado. And right after that, he had his breakdown and subsequently died. And then in 23, when I was up with President Harding in the Northwest, I left him at Seattle. He went down to San Francisco, and he passed away at the Palace Hotel.
You're a good fellow to avoid. You're what is known as the kiss of death, huh? Well, if that's what you call guarding the presidents, I don't know. We have a different notion. Aside from acting as a bodyguard of the presidents, what are some of the other Secret Service duties, Arthur?
Well, our principal duty is suppression of counterfeiting.
Just how do you work? Suppose somebody gives you a phony $5 bill and you suspect counterfeiters are at work. How do you track them down?
Well, that would all depend. Each individual case has its own, presents its own problem. In the course of time and an investigation, if it's determined that a certain gang is operating, why we frequently try to get an agent in with the gang, gain the confidence.
Mm-hmm. I see. And did you assume a disguise?
Well, not in a sense that you wear a false mustache.
Please, don't
make us. That is,
I do the insulting around here, Grover.
That's only in pictures and stories.
What's the most interesting job you've worked on, Arthur?
Well, that'd be pretty hard to say, but...
well, say it anyway, huh?
Recently, I completed an assignment with 20th Century Fox as a technical advisor on a picture having to do with the Secret Service called Mr. 880.
Where does that title come from?
Well, it relates to an authentic case of an old man in New York who passed counterfeit $1 bills.
Well, I'm glad you told me. Now I won't have to go to the picture. Have you ever destroyed any large amounts of money?
Yes. Shortly after the war broke out, I was sent over to Hawaii, and shortly after I got over there, I was joined by some men from the Treasury Department, and we got rid of between $15 and $20 million in genuine currency because the idea was that it would keep it out of the hands of the Japs if they successfully invaded the island.
You destroyed $20 million in genuine currency?
That's right.
And how soon after that did you retire?
To be exact, about 5 years.
Well, I think you played it very smart, huh? Congratulations, Arthur. I didn't think you could get away with it. Well, Mrs. Conway, you've been very quiet. Have you learned anything from this man?
Oh, yes.
What have you learned specifically?
Oh.
Just as I thought. You didn't learn anything. Tell us about your penny arcade, Mrs. Conway. Do you have any machines that might interest me?
Oh, I think so. We have some punching bags, skee ball, rifles, kiss tester, and love meter.
What's a love meter?
If you put in a penny, it registers if you're hot or cold, amorous, shy, bashful.
And is it pretty authentic?
Oh, yes. Depends on how hard you squeeze, though.
Uh-huh. Well, for a nickel, will it keep its mouth shut? Suppose I put a penny in the love meter. How do you think I'd register?
Well, it depends on how hard you squeezed.
Could I try it on you?
I suppose so.
Well, what am I, Connie?
Harmless.
Connie, are you living in a dream world, huh? Well, it's my own fault. I used a counterfeit penny, huh? Now, you're going to play your bet your life. You beat our other two couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,500 DeSoto Plymouth question. I can't tell you how much the other couples won, but Fenneman is off stage to remind our listeners.
The poultryman and the housewife are ahead with $205.
All right, here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected Famous Williams as your category. Now, here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you try?
$10.
$10. Is that all right with you, Connie?
That's all right.
All right. What William shot an apple from his son's head?
William Tell.
William Tell is correct. And they're on their way. There's $30. Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. Now, how much of your $30 will you try in your second question?
Oh, let's make it 18.
$18? That's careful figuring, isn't it? What William created the Thin Man in the movies?
William Powell.
William Powell is correct. That's right. You have $48. All right, you have $48. Here's your third question. How much of the 48?
Okay, you name it.
20.
Oh, no, 40 anyway.
Okay.
Okay, $40. All right, here's your third question. You bet $40. All right. What famous politician named William was known as the silver-tongued orator?
William Jennings Bryan.
William Jennings Bryan. All right, now you've got $88. That's the name of that picture, isn't it? $88? All right. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much are you going to bet?
We have 88. Let's all of it, huh?
Okay.
Okay. What was the name of England's greatest poet and dramatist? His name was William.
Shakespeare.
And they wind up with a grand total of $176. And that means the poultryman and the housewife with $205 get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question. Friends, when your car needs service, know-how is the all-important thing. That's why the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America ask you to bring your car to them. They have the know-how to service your car quickly and expertly. The service mechanics at a DeSoto Plymouth Dealers are factory trained. Then they keep their skills up to the minute by taking additional training courses at regular intervals. These courses help a skilled man keep his skills up to date. It's know-how like this that gives you better work in the shortest possible time. And when work is performed quickly and expertly, it means a smaller bill for you. So next time your car needs service, drive in wherever you see the sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And here's the poultryman and the housewife, all ready for their chance at the $1,500 DeSoto Plymouth question.
All right, now here we go for $1,500. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer, so think carefully and please no help from the audience. Here it is. Each star on our flag represents a state. For $1,500, tell me, what state does the first star represent? In other words, what is the first state to be admitted officially into the Union?
I'll take a stab. My home state, Pennsylvania.
No, I'm sorry. It's Delaware. The correct answer is Delaware, so that means the big question next week will be worth $2,000. Well, you lost the big money, but you won how much? $205 in the quiz. Congratulations, and thanks to both of you.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $2,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, just be sure to see your DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America salute all automobile dealers from coast to coast who celebrate National Automobile Dealer Week, October 22nd through October 28th. You Bet Your Life is transcribed from Hollywood, produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
new. It's amazing. It's Prell, P-R-E-L-L, Procter & Gamble's new Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. Prell brings you The Life of Riley. Prell, the shampoo that removes unsightly dandruff in as little as 3 minutes and leaves hair radiantly clean, radiantly lovely, presents The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. Being an average boy, Junior Riley suffers most when his faith in his father is shaken. And once in a while, Chester A. Riley shakes Junior's faith. Not on purpose, of course, but then, does poor Riley ever do anything on purpose? For instance, the other day, Riley and his wife were in their living room when Junior came in.
Well, say, Mom.
What is it, Junior?
Did you see my baseball anywhere?
Yes, it's over on the piano, and I wish you'd stop leaving your things all over the house.
I'm sorry, it won't
Your
happen.
mother's right, Junior. You've got to learn to be neat. A place for everything and everything in its place.
Well, I don't see the ball.
It's on top of the piano, right behind my shoes.
And while we're on the subject, Riley, just what are your shoes doing on the piano? You told Junior about being neat.
Now, wait a minute, Peg. I got a good reason why my shoes are on the piano. Last night, when I went to the poker game, you said to be home by 12, but I didn't get home until after 2. So I took off my... Peg, why are you picking on poor Junior? Junior, get out of here with that ball already.
I'm going. Gee, I'm glad I found it. I thought I was lost. Now I can get that uniform.
Uniform? For what?
A real baseball uniform. I got $15 saved, and I'm selling the ball for $5. That'll do it.
$5? But the ball only cost you a quarter.
Yeah, I know. I make $4.75.
Hey, that's profit. Why, if he keeps making that kind of money, you know what he's liable to wind up?
A used car dealer. Junior, how can you possibly sell that ball for so much money?
Well, Harold's willing to pay.
Yeah, who's this sucker, Harold?
Oh, don't get it, Bill. He's got plenty of moolah. Hey, he wants it on account of its autograph. Look.
Leo DeRocha. Well, hey, it's worth more than $5 if it's signed by Leo Wait a minute. When did DeRocha sign this ball?
Oh, he didn't, but Harold can't tell the difference.
What? You mean to tell me you... Well, that's the crookedest thing I ever heard of.
But, Pa, your father's right. That's out and out dishonesty. I'm surprised at you, Junior.
Oh, well, gee, I
can't believe it. My own wife's son.
Now he's my son.
Is this the way I brought you up to forge signatures?
But, Pop, you forged it.
Son?
Junior Riley, don't you try to squirm out of it by blaming your own father.
Peg.
But he did. Ask him.
I don't have to ask him. I just know your father doesn't forge signatures. Why, I'd bet anything.
What odds will you give me?
Chester Riley, you mean to say that you...
For a joke, I forgot all about it.
You see, I told you Pop did it.
Well, never mind who did it. That ain't the point. The point is you tried to take advantage of some poor kid.
Oh, he's a rich kid. His father's a banker.
That's no reason to rook him. I don't care if his father has $1 million. This is a democracy, see, where everybody's equal. Take away this guy's $1 million and he's a bum like I am.
All right, Riley, that's enough. I'm sure Junior realizes he was wrong.
No, he better.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to buy that uniform.
Now, you don't have to pull nothing crooked. If you need a uniform, you can come to me and ask me for it.
Oh, okay, then. Will you give me the $5, please?
All right, I got it right. It's funny, I thought I had something... Well, I'm a little short of cash right now. I'll give you a check later. I haven't got my checkbook with me.
But you haven't got a checking account.
I'll give you the cash later. I left it in my other suit.
You haven't got another suit.
Yeah, well, this signature looks like the real thing.
Riley?
Okay, I'll get him a uniform.
Oh, that's swell of you. Say, will you get me one that has a number on the back?
Now, look, if I was you, I wouldn't be so choosy. With your ideas, you'll be lucky if you don't wind up with a number on your chest. Well, Peg, what do you think of it? It's a nifty little uniform, huh?
No, Well, it doesn't look very new.
Well, there's a reason. It's second-hand.
Oh, second-hand?
Well, a new one's $20. It was a lucky break I found this in Sullivan's second-hand shop. He had a whole bunch of them there.
Oh, Junior will be disappointed when he finds out it's second-hand.
No, he won't. You see, I'll tell him this is the same uniform I used when I was a kid. And I happened to run across it in the attic.
What good will that do?
Why, for years I've been telling him what a great ball player I was. He'll be proud to wear this uniform.
You were a great ball player?
Well, sure. I remember one game in high school I made 5 home runs.
You mean you struck out 5 times?
Don't tell me I was the batter.
Don't tell me I was the pitcher. Some ball player.
No, Junior don't have to know that. The main thing is you like this uniform.
And suppose he doesn't believe you found it in the attic.
He'll believe me. I'll sprinkle a little dust on it. You got any dust in the house?
Oh, honest, Riley, you sometimes...
Oh, there's Junior. Now let me handle this my way.
Say, Mom, it's Pop. Pop, you got my uniform.
Yes, sir. Ain't it nifty,
Oh,
huh?
thanks. I'm going to try it on. Hey, Pop, this uniform isn't new.
Well, it's better than new. It's got a history. Son, this is the same suit I wore when I was your age. First baseman for the Brooklyn Dodgers.
When you were 13 years old?
I mean, the baby Dodgers, in the juvenile league. First baseman.
Oh, well, gee, I never knew you were on a regular team with a uniform and everything.
Oh, sure. I played hundreds of games with them. Oh, if this uniform could only talk, what stories it could tell.
You're doing all right by yourself?
You should have seen me at bat. I used to murder that ball. Killer Riley, they called me.
Gee, Killer Riley. Oh, you must have been good.
Well, if you pin me down, yes. Why, once Babe Ruth saw me play. Kid, he said, keep it up and someday you'll be one of the biggest. That's what he said, one of the biggest.
You're one of the biggest, all right.
Well, you see, even your mother says so. Well, Junior, would you like to wear this uniform?
Would I? I'll bet it's a lucky uniform.
I only hope you'll be worthy of wearing this uniform in which I rose to such great heights.
Riley, will you please put out the garbage?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, say one thing, Pop. If you were so good, how come you never made the big league?
Big league?
Yeah,
Well,
how come, Pop?
Well,
Yes, dear, I'd like to hear the answer to that one, too.
You would. Well, you see, it was my mother. I had lots of offers, but my mother kept saying, first finish school. First finish school.
Yeah?
And by the time I finished school, I was too old.
Come on, let's play ball already. Oh, hold your horses, Bert. Hey, gee, that's a swell uniform, Junior. Boy, you got all the luck. I wish my father had been a ball player. Come on, let's play. Oh, my father was top. They used to call him Killer Riley. But he went out of the park every time. You know, once Dave Ruth saw him playing, he said, boy, he's big league material. No kidding. Ah, you're full of hot air, Junior. Oh, yeah? Well, I got this uniform to prove it, haven't I? And my father doesn't tell lies. I still think it's a phony. I think your old man's a phony, too. Will you take that back or I'll sock you one? Okay. I'll take it back. Out your own way. My father's on the level. Well, come on, let's play ball. Hey, Junior, what's that tag on the inside of your sleeve? Huh? What tag? Will you let go? What do you think you're doing? Oh, stand still. Will you let go? You're going to tear it. Oh. So your old man wore the suit when he was a kid? Sure he did. You sure? Sure, I'm sure. And they called him Killer Riley. Yeah, what about it? Well, no wonder. Hey, look, fellas. Look what it says here on this little tag. This uniform property of the State Reformatory for Juvenile Delinquents. Ah, your father's a jailbird.
Is that you, Junior?
Yeah, it's me.
Hey, you're wearing my baseball uniform. Oh, you look great, son.
Pop, was this really the uniform you wore when you were a kid?
Why, what makes you ask?
You know, please tell me the truth. It's important.
It is? Well, of course it's my suit.
Okay.
But it's yours now, and I hope you had the same luck I did when I was a kid. thanks. Oh, seeing you in that suit takes me back 25 years. I remember the first time I put it on. I was the proudest kid you ever saw.
You were proud?
Yes, sir. And when I stepped out on that field, they watched every move I made.
I'll bet they did.
Killer Riley, they called me. What a slugger I was.
Yeah, I know you told me.
Yeah, not only hitting. My real specialty was stealing. I stole more in 1 year than any kid on the whole team.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Nobody had a record like I had. I remember the time... Hey, where are you going, son?
To my room.
Oh, sure. I guess you want to rest up for the big game tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right.
Who's umpiring the game, Jimmy?
Well, we don't know yet.
Well, how about me? I'm not busy.
Well, no, Pop, please. The fellas, there'd be trouble.
Oh, no, it's no trouble at all. I'll be glad to do it.
Oh, but Pop...
Now, not another word, Junior. It'll be fun. I haven't been on a baseball diamond since I was a boy. It'll be just like old times. Only this time I'll be on the outside looking in.
Pop, excuse me, I got something to do.
Yeah. Oh, what a wonderful thing. He's so proud of me, he's crying for joy. Hey, Junior, here I am.
Pop, you came.
Oh, sure, I told you I'm going to umpire. I've been hunting all over for you. You said you'd be on the North Diamond. What are you doing away over here on the South Diamond?
Well, you see...
Oh, it just don't matter. I found you. Where's your team, Jimmy?
It's over there.
Well, wait a minute. Why aren't you wearing the uniform?
Well, none of the other kids have one, so I didn't want to.
Well, what are we going to do? We can't find anybody to umpire.
But, Junior, didn't you tell him I'm going to umpire?
Oh, swell, mister. Who's this guy, Junior?
My father.
Oh. Hey, fellas, I can't get anybody to umpire. I've been all over. We've got an umpire.
Oh, swell. Who?
Junior's father here.
Oh.
Hey, what's all the things up? Oh, we got an umpire.
Yes, honey, I'm going to umpire.
Swell, I'm Bert Simpson.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Riley, Junior's father.
Oh.
Well, what's the matter? Why are you all staring at me for? Yeah. Oh, I see. I got my coat buttoned wrong. Well, come on, play ball.
Okay, fellas, let's play. But I'm playing this game with my wristwatch on. I'm not letting the umpire hold it. You cut it out, Bert.
That's Bert's a great kid. Well, let's play ball. And remember, you kids, don't try to pull anything, because I'm on to every crooked trick there is.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah, you can say that again. Play ball.
Come on, Bert, we need this run. Knock one over the fence.
See, right?
What? What's the matter? You're blind. That was a mile wide.
That was a strike. 3-2. Play ball.
Come on, Bert. Make this one count. Knock it out of the park. Atta boy, Bert. He walked you.
Strike 3. You're out.
Look, that was way inside.
I curved over the plate. You're out.
When did you learn how to umpire? In reform school?
That's enough out of you now. Get back to the bench.
Cut it out, Bert. I knew we shouldn't have let that jailbird umpire.
Who are you calling a jailbird?
Yeah, everybody knows you went to reform school.
What?
Everybody knows. I'll lay off, Bert. Mr. Riley's okay.
Thanks, Eddie.
What if he did go to reform school? Lots of ex-cons go straight.
Sure, lots of ex-cons go straight. Right. Who's an ex-con? Junior, what are you standing there for? You heard what he said about me. Tell him he's lying. Well, go on, tell him.
Now, Pop, don't make any trouble.
Don't make any trouble? But he called me a jailbird. He said I went to reform school. Tell him it ain't true. Tomorrow he'll be saying I got hung.
Pop, go on home. Forget it.
I won't forget it. I won't stand for it.
Come on, fellas. Let's go. This game's over.
So wait, fellas. Come back. Let me explain. How can you think I went to reform school? I can prove I didn't. I never even took the entrance exam. Wait, compressed. What a revolting development this is.
We'll hear the second act of The Life of Riley in a moment. It's an all-family favorite. It's Prell, Procter & Gamble's Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. Mother says,
I could hardly believe the difference in my hair after I used Prell. Prell leaves hair so soft and smooth, radiantly lovely.
Dad says,
hey, Prell really goes after unsightly dandruff quickly. Leaves a man's hair with that clean, well-groomed look.
Yes, even Sonny says,
that Prell tube's sure on the beam. No waste or spill. Prell's fun to use.
Yes, families everywhere agree on Prell. First, because Prell leaves hair more radiant than any soap shampoo. It can't leave a dulling soap film. Prell leaves hair soft, smooth, easy to manage. Second, doctor's examinations prove that Prell removes unsightly dandruff in as little as 3 minutes, and that regular Prell shampoos control it. And Prell goes farther than any known shampoo, cream, or liquid. Try
Prell shampoo.
And now back to The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley.
Riley, what are you talking about?
I'm telling you, reform school. Junior thinks I went to reform school. That's what they all think.
Oh, but that's impossible.
Don't tell me. I heard them. They all stood around calling me names. Jailbird, ex-con. And Junior, he didn't even open his mouth. He just stood there agreeing with them. Fine son he turned out to be.
Oh, now wait, Riley, relax.
How can I relax? This is all your fault, Peg.
My fault?
This is what happens when you disobey me.
Disobey you?
Yeah. When you told me you were going to have a baby, I ordered you to have a girl. But you had to have it your way. Boy, am I glad now that I never paid the doctor. It serves him right for giving me a son that thinks I'm a crook.
Oh, stop it, Riley. You're getting hysterical.
I'm through with that kid for good. I'd go and spend my last $5 I got to my name for a uniform. I'm cutting him out of my will.
Oh, no. Calm down, Riley. Let's talk about this sensibly.
I don't want to talk sensibly.
There must be some explanation. When Junior gets home, we can find out what it's all about. Where is he?
I don't know, and I don't care. Left me there all alone. Went off without saying a word. After all I'd done for that boy. When times were tough, we didn't have nothing to eat in the house. But Junior got his bottle of milk every day.
I know, dear.
That was no cinch for me getting that milk. 3 times the milkman almost caught me. Now he has the nerve to think I could be a crook. Actually, oh, what's the use?
Wait a minute. Where are you going?
I'm going out.
But Junior will be home soon.
I don't care. I'm hereby resigning as his father. And to make it legal, I'm taking his birth certificate and marking it null and void. Oh, what a mess. I never thought Junior would do this to me. You can't trust nobody. Everybody lets you down.
I'll never let you down. Unless it's necessary. Who's that? It is I, Digby O'Dell, the friendly undertaker. Going my way.
Oh, I'm just walking Digby and trying to forget what my own son did to me.
Ah, yes. Boys can be a problem. Yesterday, a gang of hoodlums pilfered a sign from that big laundry across the street and hung it on the door of my business establishment. Oh, I was furious.
Why? What did the sign say?
If we are closed, drop your bundle down the chute.
Yeah, kids can be awful. Junior humiliated me in front of all his friends.
Oh, my son Mustang humiliated me once. Yeah. The income tax collector once came into my office to question my return. So I said to my son, Mustang, go to the vault and get me the figures. Foolish boy.
Why, Diggy?
He went to the wrong vault. Just what did your Junior do?
He thinks I'm a crook.
Why, that's what busted it.
Not only Junior, all his friends saying I was a jailbird. And my own son didn't even stick up for me. Oh, you can't depend on anybody. Not your son, not your friends. Except you, Digger, old pal. You'll never throw dirt in my face.
Riley, you can't depend on anybody. Junior should have stood by you. It's his filial duty to be loyal.
Yeah. Digger, I got an idea. I'm going to teach that kid of mine. I'm going to tell him I did go to reform school. And then I'll say, what are you going to do about it? Leave home? Stop taking money from me? It'll be kind of a loyalty test.
Well, there's a lot of that going on. Last week, an FBI agent came to me, trying to locate a certain customer of mine. And when I gave him the information, he got very excited.
Why? What did you say?
I told him the man he's looking for went underground last month. Cheerio. I'd better be shoveling off.
Come here, young man. What's this nonsense about your father going to reform school?
Well, didn't he?
He did not.
Mom, I'm old enough to know the truth. Why try to hide it from me?
Well, this is the most ridiculous... I never heard of such a thing. Now, look here, Junior. I've known your father for over 20 years, and I'm telling you he never went to reform school.
Well, maybe he kept it a secret from you, too. Mom, I've got the proof.
What proof? What are you talking about?
Well, you know that uniform.
Peg, wait. Oh, there you are, Junior.
Riley, you've got to straighten this boy out right now.
That's just what I intend to do. Junior, I've got news for you. I did go to reform school.
Riley, what on
Now, it's
earth?
no use keeping it from him any longer. I went to reform school, all right. Now, what are you going to do about it?
That's all I wanted to know, Pop. I just wanted you to level with me. I'll be right back.
Riley, have you gone crazy?
Hey, Circus, come over here.
Junior, come back here.
Wait a minute, Peg.
Yeah, what do you want, Junior? You call my father a jailbird. No, what about it? This is what about it. Oh, my eye, my eye. So next time you make a crack about my father, you'll get double.
Hey, he stood up for me. Did you see the way he poked that Bert? He just wanted me to trust him. It ain't every son who'd go to bat for a father who's an ex-convict. Oh, this is the happiest day of my life.
But, Riley, you're not an ex-convict.
No? Oh, yeah. Ain't it a pity?
But now Junior thinks
I was just testing him. I'll straighten him out. Oh, Junior, you're stuck up for your old man. I'm proud of you, son.
Look, I just wanted you to be on the level with me, Pop. I don't care what you were once. I think you're okay.
That's the way I like to hear you talk, son. But now, brace yourself for a shock. I got some disappointing news for you. I never went to reform school.
Oh, Pop, I thought you were going to trust me.
No, honest, Junior, I was never in a reform school.
Oh, cut it out, Pop.
But, Junior, believe me,
Don't worry, Pop. I can take it.
Now, Junior...
I'm not a kid anymore.
But, Junior, it was just a test. I wanted to...
forget it, Pop.
But, Junior, all right. Have it your way. I was in reform school. I was the worst juvenile delinquent they ever saw. I was absolutely incorrigible. I committed every crime in the book, all the way from larceny to arsony. I went up the river so many times they called me Salmon Riley. Ask your mother. She was my mom. Now I hope you're satisfied.
The Rileys will be back in just a moment. First place with all the family. That's Prell, Procter & Gamble's Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. Mrs. Mildred Runge of Chicago, Illinois, writes,
In my family, a shampoo has to really be good to please everyone. And Prell has won that honor. Yes, for real cleanliness, radiant, and manageable hair, we're all cheering for Prell.
And Prell will be a favorite with you, too, once you see how quickly Prell removes unsightly dandruff. Leaves hair shining with radiance. Ask for...
Prell shampoo. Leaves hair radiant, gleaming bright. Not a bit of dandruff is in sight. Comes in a tube, handy too. Prell shampoo.
But, Pop,
Look,
the uniform.
Junior, I'll explain it all over again. That's not my uniform. I never had a uniform. I just said so to get you to wear it. I bought it in Sullivan's Hot Shop. Look, here's the bill.
Oh. Well, then you never really went to reform school.
Of course not.
Ah, gee.
Well, I'm glad we got that straightened out. What a couple of days I had.
And it serves you right. I hope this teaches you a lesson not to make up crazy stories. Telling him you have a record.
Well, to be perfectly honest about it, the story wasn't all crazy. In 1930, I was sentenced for a life term.
What?
Hey, don't you remember, Dumplin'? That's the year we got married. Folks, this is Riley, alias William Bendix. We can attack cancer through medical care. Our contributions during Cancer Control Month will help provide vital research, public education, and medical care for all. Cancer is your enemy. It might strike your home. Make your contributions today to the American Cancer Society in your city or Los Angeles 5. Let's do this for our own sake. Good night.
Procter & Gamble invite you to join us again next week to hear The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. The script is by Reuben Shipp and Alan Lipscott. Mrs. Riley is Paula Winslow. Digger Odell is John Brown. The Life of Riley is produced by Irving Breathless. And remember, for radiantly clean, lovely hair, get the shampoo in the tube. P-R-E-L-L. Prell Shampoo.
Please listen carefully. Only 1 day left for Lava's sensational offer, so hurry. Get 12 large-size gladiolus bulbs for only 25 cents and 1 Lava soap box front. Make your garden a show place. In each set of 12 gladiolus bulbs are 6 beautiful varieties, such as red flaming sword, gorgeous pink picardy, and others, guaranteed to bloom this year or your money back. Ordinarily, they'd cost 3 times as much. Here's all you do. Simply mail 25 cents and 1 Lava soap box front with your name and address to Lava Soap, Cincinnati 1, Ohio. Order several sets and have exquisite cut flowers for weeks. But don't delay. This offer, good everywhere in the United States except Montana, expires tomorrow midnight. So to be sure to get your bulbs, hurry, send tonight. This is your last opportunity. Remember, mail 25 cents in coin and 1 Lava Soap box front with your name and address to Lava Soap, Cincinnati 1, Ohio.
Listen again next week when Prell brings you The Life of Riley. And now stay tuned for Truth or Consequences. Good night.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.